What's going on, everyone? I'm Paul Sabo. This is Jay Hamilton, and this is Punk with a Controller. You can catch us live Fridays at 7 p.m. over at twitch.tv/Punk with a Controller. You could go over to Jay's channel, twitch.tv/LordxHam, and you could follow him, show him some love. If you got Twitch Prime, or if you got Amazon Prime, you could go and link your Twitch account, make a Twitch Gaming Prime fuck about account, and take $5 from Jeff Bezos and the kids that he's stealing from. So, Fridays, me and Jay are going live and we're recording an episode of our podcast. We catch up with each other over what we've been playing, what we've been doing throughout the week. We talk about some of the big news that breaks during the week that's passed, and then we do a big topic. We close with something that we like to catch up on and reminisce about our gaming days. This week, we're talking about games that just age like a fine wine. You know, games that just never die. If you stick with my channel, you're going to catch me playing, console games, more, modern games, games that are just dropping. You want to go over to Jay's channel. He's playing all the big PC hits, all the big shooters. He's, popping heads and domes. So if you
Oh
want
man, domes.
to, so if you want to check out either of our channels, please like and follow both. Jay, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. I it was like a long work week. Worked a lot of late days, but all in all it was a good week. If that makes any sense. I don't know. Mindset change, you know. Came into the week Monday with a different mindset and it was a good week.
Fuck yeah. My week wasn't too bad. It was a little slower than weeks past. The past 2 weeks have been absolutely insane at work, and I've just been exhausted every time I get off. But this week it's been busy, but it was a lot slower. Today was really, I got home super early, and that was fucking awesome. I still had to open, but I'll take it. But yeah, no, work was not that bad. What'd you play? What'd you watch?
So I think it was over the weekend. I don't remember what day it was. I might have even talked about it last. Did we talk about The Conjuring last week? We did.
Yes, we did.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no. All right. I didn't watch any movies. Watched some Rick and Morty though. I just that's like my put the show on. I mean, Lego Masters. I like a lot of TV shows.
Yeah, just
Lego
background noise.
Masters. Um and then played some Battlefield 4. Oh, oh baby.
Now,
Talk. I didn't. All
just
right. Hey.
just real quick, just so because I think I misheard you with what you were telling me, and thinking back on it, it sounds actually really cool. You said they doubled the server count. Now, when you said that
Yeah.
to me,
Like.
when you said that to me, initially I thought you just meant they doubled the amount of servers just so that like the game's so populated,
Yeah.
like
That's why.
there's so many people. Do you mean that, or they doubled the population of servers in the sense? Okay.
No. 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 No.
Okay, I was
No.
about to say, did they make it so Battlefield 4 on PC you could play 128 players? Because
No.
I
No.
was
No.
about to
No.
say,
No.
because
No.
then that would be worth the $40.
What's $20 right now on
Oh,
Steam sale,
what?
summer sale? Yeah,
That must have started like
it
an
happened
hour.
today.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay, yeah, because just the other day I was like, I'm not spending $40 on this. Oh yeah, 20
yeah. No,
bucks
you
isn't that
said that
bad.
this morning. Now it's $20 on sale.
I said
But
that
like,
yesterday.
it was yesterday. I don't
Yeah.
remember. At this point, all the
You're
days
good.
blend together. But it's like I didn't put it in um my list. I should have. But Battlefield 4 in particular, that is a fine aged whiskey. All right? Like it's still just as fun as you left it off at. Like I still have like and I'm still running. There's a bunch of new people. You could tell they've never played these maps before because I know every nook, cranny,
Yeah.
ass crack, and little peak in that whole game. Every map, even the DLC. But like, I don't know. I still have a ton of fun, and like, it's super solid. I mean, they doubled the amount of like servers out there. I think mainly West Coast. Like, there were like 3-4 hour queue times or some shit, some wild shit. But I wait probably. a good 15 minutes before I get into a server. But the thing with Battlefield is once you get into one server, you're usually in that server for hours, you know.
Yeah.
A-
I
And then
just real quick, like you said, Battlefield ages, with Battlefield 4 ages, really, or is aged really well. I think you could say that about a lot of the Battlefield games. Like
yeah,
I feel like if
Bad
we
Company,
Bad
the
Company
people still play
2,
Bad Company 2
oh
on
my
PC.
God. I just remember the 360 days of Bad Company 2.
I
But
played it on PS3.
I played more hours of that Battlefield specifically than any other Battlefield. Um, there was the one desert
Yeah,
map that had the shipping container destroyed in the center of it. That I mean, the the thing about Bad Company 2 that to this day for me is still so special is each team, each side had their own base where they all it was in current Battlefield since I want to say Battlefield 3, your base spawn it's just a blank area where you spawn. Whereas in
not
Battlefield
all the time.
well, in Battlefield 2, it's an actual base or Battlefield Bad Company 2, it's like an actual base where that's where your helicopters spawn. That's where your tanks spawn. That's where all of your, military that's where all your artillery and shit like that spawns.
Well,
So
remember,
some of my favorite things were like sneaking over to the enemy's base and planting a bunch of C4 all over their artillery, and then once the helicopter would take off, just boom, instant, 4 kills. And then
you could do that in 4 and 3. 3 had that one
no,
map
you
where
can't do that in 3, or maybe in 3, not in 4. In 4, that's when they you spawn in the helicopter through the spawning menu.
or it's sitting right there. Everyone has a home
But
base and they
you
can
just you clip
like the
right.
carrier.
Well, it's
Like
the fact that okay, if that's the thing, then it's the fact that you have the option to spawn right in, because I mean you'll look at it like if you want to spawn in a helicopter in these games, you have to waste half the game sitting in the spawn menu, hovering over the thing, just mashing X, and just
yeah,
because someone else is doing that. It's like getting a Jedi in
yeah,
Battlefront 2.
battle
Like
yeah.
everyone wants that card. So everyone's over there wasting half the
Or it's
game.
like yeah, I'm always pissed cuz it's like no, dude, like you don't understand. Like Darth Maul is the only character I have upgraded and everyone chooses him. Like
Oh man, no,
um
fucking Finn. Finn was my dude. Oh my god.
see, I didn't like blasters. I liked Ray,
I had some
Kylo,
clips with
and Darth
Finn.
Maul.
With
Oh,
Finn
and
you
Anakin.
rally
My
the team.
Anakin's just ridiculous. Like he
Um
just raises everyone to the ceiling. But I
yeah, I was about
I
to say
did
getting super sidetracked here.
I did try out the new Dead Side update for a couple hours.
Which one is that again?
That's that one that I was making all the videos on and
Yeah,
playing all the
yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. I always get that confused with Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, no, completely different.
I know they're completely different, but I just the names always they pop up a lot.
Well, well, like Dead Side, right? They've been like they got I was playing up until they got massively DDoSed and it was unplayable. And so I stopped and then everyone kind of killed the vibe. Did not pass vibe check. And no, everyone the player base kind of was like we're going to wait for this new update. This new content update because there's nothing in the game. We did it all. So it was like really fast. It was like private test server one day, public test server the next day, and then they released it. It was like boom, boom, boom. Not like PUBG where you're on the test server for like 2.5 weeks before back in the day. No, it was like boom, boom, boom. And I went on there and there was only 2 servers in the server list that was first person only at least that were full.
DM.
And one was a good friend of mine, a YouTuber, and like his server was stacked. But I ended up getting in there, And I don't know what it is, if I'm just not used to it, but like the gun movement, maybe they reset the mouse settings or something, but I felt like the gun movement was so disconnected to what I guess I was just playing too much Battlefield 4, which is high end like shit, because like in Dead Side I felt like I was like on a pole moving like this,
Damn.
like it just felt weird. And the AI is super overpowered, like aim body. Still, I mean, it's always been like that, but I don't know. I just like, and then I went to the new part. They like extended the map, and it's so big and open, filled with jack shit. A bunch of rundown towns that had no loot. Maybe it was because I was on a vanilla type server, but uh, yeah, no, it just felt empty, and like I was just like, I'm not. I even beforehand, my stoke level was going down since like they're like it was supposed to come out in fucking April or some shit,
Yeah.
and it was just like yeah no, and then like today I wake up, what do I see in my notifications? We're being massively DDoS attacked on all of our servers
Again?
again, which tells me that they need to worry about hiring more people
Security.
onto their dev team and figuring that shit out. And it's all through G Portal. They have like a contract through G Portal, like an exclusivity contract for like 2 years or something. So they're stuck and binded by a contract. But at the same time, you know, they should like really look into like an anti-cheat or just something like that. But like the player base was getting rowdy, right? And they're like, we just need to get this update out. And they got it out. Good on them. But yesterday I was like, I wasn't that impressed. I played for like 2 hours and did like there was nothing.
Yeah, I feel like from they're not a big dev. They're not a big dev team.
They're like 10 people or something.
Yeah.
Not
Um
even.
from the smallest team of 10 people up to the biggest team of Crystal Dynamics. I didn't include this in the news just because, when we do our news stories, I like to just do big ones that I feel like pertain to us, or just, stories that, I think are interesting or the best. And one that was interesting, but I don't really care about, is just, it was just one more reason to kind of laugh, was did you see in the latest Avengers update that they were displaying players' IP addresses on the screen?
What?
Yeah, in the latest update, like when you would play the game, if I remember correctly, your IP address was just displayed in like the corner of the screen. Or like when
Huh.
you streamed it or something, your IP address was like visible. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. This is like Fallout 76 all over again. It's like a game that should, on all accounts, work. And just because of everything you're doing, is just a complete and utter failure.
Yep.
Like
I don't know, but like this is my thing. I told my buddy, told the dead side buddy, I was like, here's my issue. All right. Like I understand it's a little different. It's not different because there's public servers in this game I'm about to bring up. Look at Valheim. That's 5 people.
yeah,
5 people. But I don't know, they just know what they're doing.
they just announced
And
they're
like,
finally taking a week off, right?
oh, it's midsummer. Started yesterday and it goes through the weekend. That's the Viking Festival in Ohio is on midsummer, which is it's celebrated in all religions, but it predates Christianity, just celebrating like
God, it's the Boondock
the
Saints all over
midsummer.
again.
The Boondock dude. We still gotta do that Halloween get up, Boondock Saints.
Oh God, too much. Have you seen the Midsummer movie? Just sidetrack.
No.
No, you should check it out. I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu or Amazon or something.
It basically just celebrates like crops. Like they're in the
Well,
ground and they're ready to go.
it's a dope movie, and it's got a bunch of Norse mythology and Norse imagery and shit like that. And I know you're currently into essentially anything Norse related.
Well, even the missus,
Yeah, no,
so
for sure. I mean,
the vibe,
it's
dude.
Ari Aster. He did the Witch movie not too long ago. Also fucking terrifying.
Lighthouse.
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah, no, that is wait, that's Robert Eggers. I get these two
The guy,
motherfuckers confused all the time.
because the guy that did The Witch did Lighthouse.
Okay, Luke, do you the dude who did Midsummer? What did he do before that? Yes, yes, Hereditary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, I get them both confused so much because they're both so fucked up and I love them both so goddamn much. But yeah, no, yeah, I don't know if you've seen Hereditary, but whew, that's a that's
Oh,
a
I
that's
haven't.
a movie.
I've never been mentally prepared enough to watch it.
That's
So,
that's something you have to brace for. Like you actually saying that, yeah, that yeah. No,
is it
it's
that bad? My sister said she was like, it was pretty good, and her boyfriend was like emotionally for like a week and a half
dude,
afterwards.
it's a really fucking dark movie. Like I want to say some of the scariest scenes aren't even like really like they're not like horror themed. It's like the way the mom is like talking to her son. And like, like just the idea of like, like a mother talking to her son that way is like, it's like, oh God. And so like shit like that. That's like, but there's also just a lot of really fucked up imagery and it's really well shot and same thing with Midsummer. But holy shit, we're all over the board here. But yeah, no, that's I hope they fucking come around because like you said, people like the game, so they gotta invest in security or something.
I I don't know. I went back to I like played it for a couple hours. Went back to Battlefield 4. So hopped on some Operation Locker. The meat grinder.
Um, but on my end, before I really talk about what I got into, I put this in literally last second just because I knew you were going to talk about watching, Lego Builders or Hell's Kitchen or one of those reality shows, and then you saying that you and your lady are going to you're going to sell candles at like a farmer's market kind of dealy. Is that what? Yeah, that was the situation. It reminded me of the show. It's on Hulu. It's called Making It. Have you seen that show? Have you heard about that show?
Who's in it? Who's
It's
the host?
so it's hosted by Ron Swanson,
Yeah, Nick
Nick
Offerman and
Offerman, and Amy Poehler.
what's it? Yeah, I watched that show.
Dude, I just saw that there are two more seasons. I only saw the first season when it came out initially. It is the most humble, like happy show I have ever seen. And yeah, like
It
getting
is.
getting stoned and watching people make dope baskets. It's and then like,
Yeah, but it's always the worst when they're like, "We're gonna have to send you home."
see, it's not though. Because like in like Hell's Kitchen or in anything else, like it would cut to like their like, their cohorts and they'd be like, happy they're gone, knocked another chink out of another chink out of the chain. Another chink in the armor, blah blah blah. Whereas like this one, like they all get into a group and like hug. And they're all like so sad that they're leaving. They're like, oh, we're just so happy we get to sit in this house and do this all together. And it's like, yeah, that's awesome. Like I'm all for it. But yeah, no, I was just curious if you and the lady watched that because if not, I'm actually
Yeah,
gonna watch. I'm actually gonna start the second season tonight. I'm gonna get
yeah.
really fucking high and watch it.
I watch it from time to time. I like Instant Hotel on Netflix. Yeah,
I don't know.
Australian reality TV about these people they're a group of people. They all got Airbnbs and they all stay in each other's Airbnbs and rate them, and then whoever has the best one, like listen to this. It's Australian television. You win an all expense paid trip to Los Angeles, California, and they're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, I don't want to go to that fucking shithole. LA. Oh my god. Armpit of the West.
I don't even have water. Um, but then, all right, so getting into what I actually did do, I'm just going to talk about what I've played. I have been playing so much Steep lately. It is like, it's absurd. Um, you know Steep, right? It's like it's Ubisoft snowboarding sim. It's basically Skate but for snowboarding or skiing, and then they also have like wingsuiting and like hang gliding and parachuting and a bunch of other shit. Um and it is just an like a really dope Zen game. Like in the sense of you just zone out and just play it and make it's honestly just getting me so much hyped for Skate 4 whenever that finally comes out. But my one buddy, he passed away a few months ago, but it was like the only game he played and he was so fucking good at it. So I have like been working so hard to beat his high scores in all of his challenges cuz like, he's not going to beat him. If I beat him, that's it. I win. Sorry, Ralphie, I win if I beat him. So I'm gonna, I've been just chipping away on that, and honestly, it's like it's really balancing out the, oh, I'm just gonna zone out, lay on the couch and just play this snowboarding game. To I pull up the fucking chair 2 inches from my TV, and I'm like, God, how did you fucking do this? Like I got 30,000 points on this one challenge. You just had to, get from the top of this mountain down to this point and, get the highest score, from point A to point B. And I got I got like 25, 30,000. I gave it my all. I wasn't even snowboarding. Every time I touched the ground, I was just flipping. Like I would hit the ground, jump up and do a flip. And yeah, I got like 25, 30,000 points. I'm like, God, there's no way he got higher than that. And I pulled up. Dude's got like 55,000 points. I'm like, there's no way. I can't beat this. I beat him on a race yesterday, and that felt awesome. That felt great. I destroyed his time, and ooh, it felt good. I hate to talk all this shit right now. God. Um, I'm still playing Ratchet and Clank. I streamed some of that Wednesday. Oh, dude, it is
Dang.
so good. Yeah. I know you are in the market for a PS5, but you're waiting. Like you're not like, you're in the market, but you don't care when you get it. Like,
Yeah.
when it's available to you. And dude, when it's available to you, there's going to be a lot of shit out there versus the PS4 cuz you had a PS4 pretty early on.
I think I got it in January
Yeah,
of
I got mine at
2014.
launch. I got mine at launch, and I remember playing Battlefield 4 with you pretty early on in that game or in that time. And I, I mean, you're gonna have so much shit to play. You got Returnal, you got Ratchet, you got Spider-Man Miles Morales. You got the 4K 60 FPS remastered version of Spider-Man 2018 if you want to replay that. On top
And
of
God of War.
Yeah, on top of a lot of PlayStation's first-party games being 4K remastered. If you get PlayStation Plus, you get the PlayStation Plus collection, which comes with 20 different games that are all of the highest caliber. It's like, the Crash collection. You got Monster Hunter World. You got Persona 5. You just a bunch of, and then Horizon and The Last of Us and just a bunch, God of War, just all of the, big Sony titles. So yeah, once you finally get a PS5, you are going to have some shit to play, and Ratchet has gotta be one. Like, that's gotta be one, no matter what's out when you get it, that's gotta be one of the first games you play. It is a fucking marvel, dude. Like, I have never seen a game like this. And it's, like I want to say The Last of Us The Last of Us Part 2 specifically visually looks just as good um because it is like, I mean, you look at some of the scenery in that game and you're like, Jesus, holy shit, this looks real. Um but Ratchet looks like a Pixar, like it literally looks like a Pixar movie, and not like 2016 Ratchet where it looked like a Pixar movie in the sense of like Toy Story 1995. Like it looked good, like it was like the best looking 3D platformer out there, but it looked like an old Pixar. This looks better than Up. Like, and Up is like, I watched that fairly recently and cried to it.
Up is up there.
Yeah. It is insane how it looks. And like I, I've said this so far on like every episode. If you got a PS5 and you're playing it, you gotta play on the highest difficulty. Or you gotta play on the hardest difficulty. It's challenging, it's not hard. Like, yeah, you might have to face that boss a second time, maybe a third. I've never had to do a third yet. But like when you play on the hardest difficulty, that's when it actually makes you think. Like, that's when you're actually jumping around and, gliding all over the place and using all of your weapons to their max ability. Like, that's when you're really in the game. And I like it. A lot of people have been having some pretty, like, not bad issues. Like, I know they've been having some clipping. They've like fallen through the world a few times. I haven't heard of any crashes. I feel like people are getting like really hard on them for it. I haven't experienced, I mean, maybe I've gotten some clipping. It's clipping. Like, give me one game that doesn't have, an ounce of clipping. But I overlook it because everything else is like a marvel. Like, yeah, I got this vast, beautiful scenery right here. Sure, the leaves are clipping into each other. Or if I walk into this bush, it doesn't bounce with me. I don't notice that because everything else looks so amazing. And then as for stuff I watched, I know I've talked to you kind of this outside of the podcast, but I haven't talked to it on here at all. Mythic Quest. You gotta watch Mythic Quest, dude. It's fucking good. They did their research.
Which one is that?
That's Apple TV. That's Mac from It's Always Sunny. He plays a video game developer at this company called Raven, or I can't remember what they're called.
Code Monkeys.
I can't remember what the name of their company is called, but they make this game called Mythic Quest. It's basically World of Warcraft. It's like the biggest MMO in the world, and it is the most accurate representation of the gaming world I have ever seen. It is really fucking funny, and they talk about shit that like they have to do, like they talk a bunch of shit on Kotaku, and it's awesome. Like I fucking love it. And like they talk about like how they're doing interviews with Polygon and shit. Like they're talking about actual websites. They're not just making up bland bullshit. And like a bunch of the cuts, like how like shows will have like a cut to the next scene. Like their cuts are like just cuts from Ubisoft games. It'll be a cut of like fucking two dudes going at it in For Honor, or it'll be a cut of Eivor like riding his Viking ship, like going down a river while they're talking about Mythic Quest. They just use a bunch of Ubisoft games to like talk about it. And like on top of it being hilarious and super, self-aware, it also gets really dark. Like they also like talk about or they also get into like the dark side of video games and like the dark side of video game development. And it's fucking awesome because it's, showing the general public like, how stressful some of this shit could be. And then I have been making Gundam like a motherfucker. I got 5 over there. I got 1 right here. I got 2. I got Android 17 and 18 from Dragon Ball Z over there that I made. I'm making another one currently. Like I am just fucking all in on these things.
Cranking them out.
Yeah. And I was just like, I remember as a kid, staying up way too late and watching Toonami and just watching a bunch of random ass anime that I didn't understand. And Gundam was always the one, was always the cool one. Like, I never understood it, never got it, but god damn were those robots badass. And,
You,
go on.
you've seen Ready Player One, right?
Oh yeah. Dude,
That Gundam scene.
when he fucking comes in at the end, oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't really the movie was dope. But it was very, very just straight up just cookie cutter in the sense of like I knew like from the synopsis of the movie, I knew what was going to happen. It was just all of the shit in there was really cool. You should read the book. Because I heard people who read the book like fucking hated the movie. I don't know if it was like I Am Legend.
Yeah,
I
but
don't,
I had to watch I like the Twitch references in the movie.
yeah, no, for
and, like,
sure.
all that.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure that's all in the book because the book's fairly recent.
No.
No, I thought the book came out in
No.
like the early aughts
I got
or
you.
like late 2010s or early 2010s. Or I didn't think it was very old. Or maybe I'm thinking
I
of
guess it is 2011. God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was an older book. I
No.
heard the second one was really fucked up.
But yeah, so I was just like, like I said, I was a dumb kid. I don't remember any of that shit. So, well, now, give it a, check it out. So I looked up what's the best mobile suit Gundams, what's the best Gundam shows. And this Mobile Suit Gundam 8th MS team popped up. And this shit is fucking cool. It's really fucking dark. It's basically like it's touching on a bunch of war themes. It is like there are a lot of Nazi call outs. Like there's a group of people called the Zions, and they were like literally in formation shouting Zig Zion and throwing their fists up in the air. It's like, oh, well, that's imagery. Like I recognize that. But it's basically Gundams in guerrilla warfare. And I don't know if Gundams are cool to you and you like anime and that sounds cool to you. That's really dope. And so many people have been on so many people have been on my ass so much to watch so many different animes. Whether it's Goblin Slayer, My Hero Academia, whatever. I stick to the ones that I like, the ones that interest me. I'll rewatch Cowboy Bebop. I love Castlevania. Attack on Titan is one that I finally started, and I'm sure that you've heard a lot about Attack on Titan. You're not an anime guy at all. I know, right?
It like not an anime show type person. Like I'll watch Kiki's Delivery Service. I grew up with that movie. Like on
Studio
HBO
Ghibli.
Max. Yeah, Ghibli. Like I'll watch those, but I never really got. I mean, I watched some Dragon Ball. I really liked Dragon Ball Uncut when they did that. That was cool. The director's cut, Uncut.
Yeah.
And I did watch Toonami, but I never got into it, And I'm
For sure.
constantly surrounded by people that are into it. So back when I lived in a house with a bunch of people, when Attack on Titan, the movie, the live action.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I don't
And
want.
I
I don't
remember
plan
watching it
on
for
watching that.
I remember watching it 5 minutes. I'm like,
I'm
I
good.
don't know what's going on. This isn't for me. Going
Yeah.
upstairs.
I would not find that one interesting at all. The anime, however, starting off is very, very good. It's got me. It's got me intrigued. It's one of those things where like you hear about how good it gets, and I want to see that. In the sense of season 4 is wrapping up, or like the first half of it just wrapped up. And go and look up like the last 4 episodes of season 4 on IMDb. They are all 9.9 out of like 50,000 reviews. So that number ain't changing anytime soon. I think one of them was a flat out 10. And I just remember like I clicked on one of the episodes and like the first review was like this is coming from a 50-year-old man who has never watched anime in his life except for this show. Holy shit. So I'm all in, but like I do have my classic anime gripes. Like there's some shows that either don't do it at all, like Castlevania, or hide it really well, like Cowboy Bebop, where in Attack on Titan and in most anime, from my experience, every single line of dialogue is exposition. In the sense of whatever they say has to mean something. In the sense, I'm the greatest of all time. I know you're the greatest of all time because your father was the greatest of all time. I haven't spoken to my father in years. Your father's been here because of X, Y, and Z. And just like everything is all about, knowing something. Like there's very little just banter or random dialogue that doesn't mean anything, if that makes sense. Whereas,
Are you watching it dubbed?
no, I'm watching. Oh, yes. Sorry, I am watching it dubbed. Just because I'm like watching it while making Gundam and stuff, so I can't watch the screen at all times that I'm listening. But yeah, no, it's. I'm looking forward to it getting better. I'm hoping. This is like my biggest investment in anime because Castlevania is only. They just finished their fourth season, third or fourth season. I still have to watch it. And that show, I mean, the first season you could watch in a couple hours, I want to say. It's only like 4 episodes, and I'm pretty sure they're like 15 minutes each, or maybe 20 minutes each. And they go by quick because it is fucking awesome. My recommendation to you, Jay, and you out there, if people are bugging you to get into anime and you are interested because they do sound cool and the stories do sound cool, it's just overwhelming. Here is my anime list official. P's official anime list to get you into anime.
I'm all ears,
And
actually.
by the end, if you don't like it, you're out. So number 1, Boondocks. Start watching the Boondocks.
Already watched it.
Watch it again. Get used to the art style. Get used to all those quick cuts and all those flashes. Number 2, Castlevania. That'll get you exposed to the hard stories, the darkness, the what anime can really be. And then 3, Cowboy Bebop. It's 1 season, 25 episodes, traditional anime in the sense of 8 episodes matter, all the rest are filler, but it's all dope top to bottom. And I would say by the end of Cowboy Bebop, if you either get through Cowboy Bebop or you don't. That's my theory. And Cowboy Bebop, I personally only watch dubbed. Like the voice acting is genuinely really fucking good. I've never watched it subbed.
Good thing Boondocks doesn't need to be dubbed.
That would be weird. Boondocks is my favorite anime though. But
that was like always a show I watched. But yeah, let's go on.
Yeah, we have been going for 45 minutes here now.
Yeah, man, we're just chilling.
We don't have many stories here. But this first one we're gonna dive into. Oh, nope. Wrong panel. New screen. There we go. Okay. This first one we're diving into is, if you joined us last week, there was a lot going on about this abandoned game. It's developed by Blue Box Studios, and there has been all of the speculation in the world that it's really Kojima working on Silent Hills. I said it on the last episode, I have been sidestepping my way away from the hype because I can't let myself get excited for this because my heart will literally be broken. But this is over at Eurogamer by Tom Phillips, Blue Box Studios, the indie developer at the heart of the bizarre internet conspiracy involving Hideo Kojima, has once again denied it has any involvement with the Metal Gear Solid maker. In a video message posted this morning, director Hassan Karaman faced the camera to pass on a message Blue Box has now stated repeatedly. It is not involved with Kojima, and it is not working on a new Silent Hill game. If this sounds familiar, that's because Blue Box said this much back in April, and again last week on Twitter, and now again today. Why Blue Box is still having to state this? On the one hand, there's no controlling the internet's love of good Kojima conspiracy theory. After all, Blue Box denying all this is surely just proof of that conspiracy. Discussion has also been fueled over the past week as various industry figures have stated they are in contact with Blue Box, including Summer Games Fest Jeff Keighley and Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, in order to uncover the truth. And of course, Blue Box has in past stoked the flames of the rumor itself. In a now deleted tweet on the 15th of June, the developer teased its upcoming project Abandon actually had a name, first letter S, last letter L. So what is Blue Box actually up to? Apart from stirring up a vast amount of misplaced internet interest, it is working on Abandoned, a creepy indie survival horror for PlayStation 5. All evidence so far points to that being it. I'm a real person, Karaman said. Actually, I'm not going to read this ending part. Let's just jump right over to the video itself.
Hello everyone, this is Hassan Karaman. Just wanted to do a really quick video just to show myself that I'm a real person. And yeah, I'm not really associated
That ain't the real
with
person.
Hideo Kojima.
That's an actor.
Not an actor. Not working on Silent Hill. So
Bullshit.
yeah, I just wanted to show you guys my face and that I'm real.
You ever watch the show Lie to Me?
Very soon. Just have to figure out.
No, but I've seen the show Undercover Boss. That's Hideo. That's a Japanese man in makeup.
All right, everyone. Hello, everyone.
No, all right. That dude's totally an act. Look at his eyes.
See, like that's the thing, is there are people still denying this guy. In the sense of they're like, I'm not even like, this is not a joke. There are a lot of people who are like, he's too good looking. Like, I have never seen a game developer who looks this good. Like, we are all dirty, like, don't care about our hair, like, you know, scruffy beard, glasses, fat. Like this guy looks like he's in shape. He's got a nice beard. He's got a straight hairline. And I'm just like,
he's reading off a fucking script. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
Or every time he says, he says, this is blah, blah, blah. And like his eyes will go.
dude,
And like, this is just some random fucking intern. Like, hey, dude, we need you.
what was it? People are saying like, oh, he's filming it on like, you know, a professional grade camera. I'm like, that's an iPhone, dude. Yeah, like the looking off to the side. This is so before I get okay, so I just want to I got to update it. I got to update you because no matter what happens here, it is still weird. I can't let this go until I see the game itself. I know, like, again, I'm not leaning into the hype because I don't want to put that like stress on the studio. And I'm also not saying like I don't believe them. Like, as of right now, I do believe them. It's just some of this shit is like the idea that Hassan Karaman is a Turkish name, and when you translate that name to Japanese, it's Hideo. Like, that doesn't, like, that is like demonstrably insane, those odds. Like, am I crazy by thinking that? Like,
No.
like, what are the odds of that? I know I said this last week, but like, that's true. That's a thing. That's insane. And it's not like, you know, it's not like the internet was just like, all right, Hassan Karaman, and then went like all around the world, like thinking of where this guy was from, typing in Hideo Kojima, Japanese. No, we know he's a Turkish, we know he's a Turkish native. So we typed, the internet just typed in that, and we know Hideo Kojima's from Japan because he's well known. Um, so that's really weird. Them outsourcing to Noir, that's a massive studio. Like, that is a massive studio outside of Sony. Like, the idea that they're outsourcing work to studios that have worked on Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn, some of Sony's biggest titles. Like, that's insane. And it's just this indie team. They made a Kickstarter and it earned $250 before it ended because they maxed out at $250, and then Sony offers them $100 million to make this massive, horror game, this small indie studio from this developer that no one has heard about. And then, like I said last week, they're tweeting this shit out. Like, oh, our game's title's gonna be announced soon. Remember, Abandon's only a placeholder title. Starts with an S, ends with an L. Like,
Yeah, and what game was abandoned?
well,
PT.
my whole thing is, like, why does that matter? Our game starts with an S and ends with an L, and then you go on and on and on about how you're a small indie team working on a passion project, a team of like 50 or so people. Why does it matter that your game starts with an S and ends with an L? Like, that tweet was immediately deleted because I feel like that was them purposely leaning into the hype. And they still have. They've continued to lean into the hype with some of this stuff. And it makes me think of, like, why isn't Sony cracking down on them? Like, you would think Sony being like, hey, we just gave you $100 million to make, the game you want to make. Why are you misleading people? You should be focusing on the game and make the one you want to make.
We're talking about the guy that made it so you defeat a boss by sticking your controller into the other port on your console. So it's not far off from a Kojima scheme. Kojima mindfuck.
He did this. He did this exact thing in 2013 with Metal Gear Solid 5. He made this fake studio called Moby Dick Studios. He made the fake developer name, and he was posing as this fake developer online doing this exact shit. So like that's another thing that has people really confused. And like, again, I'm not buying into this hype at all. I am really curious in seeing this game. Oh yeah, just real quick. You said, you had to switch the ports to beat the boss. Kojima has literally always done that. In Metal Gear Solid 2, there's like a comm between you and Raiden where he is literally talking to you, and he changes out like inputs on your TV and everything. Like, he like literally fucks with your mind. And before Silent Hills was canceled, with him working on initially what PT was gonna be, he was talking about how he wanted you. You know how like there's a bunch of like user agreements at the beginnings of the games. You just hit check and blah 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 continue. He said at the start of Silent Hills you were gonna have an option to put in your phone number and like your email address and shit like that, and just dumb basic information like that. That was gonna be the user agreement. But really, in the middle of the game, he was gonna like text you and stuff and call you. Like, the game was gonna, and it was gonna be like, I don't know, like a dude breathing hard on the other end of the phone or someone screaming. Like, that is fucking insane. And all of that on top of the fact that you want to know how they were planning on releasing this game. Today they were supposed to drop an app on the PlayStation 5, an app that is showing the game running in real time. And that was going to show the first look at gameplay and reveal actual details about the game. And then this came out.
And
Hold on. There we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Hassan from Blue Box Game Studios, the game director for Abandoned. The last 2 weeks was really stressful to us. The team is very tired. We were hoping to release the app today, and I know that a lot of you have been looking forward to it, so thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. However, I've decided to delay the app until August. That is when the first trailer will also be released. We just wanted to give you
August.
solid first impression of the game. Right now, the app isn't quite there yet. We just wanted to have it meet our own expectations first. There were also last minute bugs that we had to deal with. The localization isn't fully completed yet. So yeah, I hope you understand. I'm sorry for this. And yeah, thank you for your support.
Now, there's some like crazy shit in the in the replies, in the sense of people are literally being like, this game's talking about how they're making hyper realistic graphics and it's going to be like the best looking, game, blah blah blah, X, Y, and Z. This is the game. This is, this guy isn't even real. This is, them making a character in the game. I'm like, holy shit. Like, it's almost like the hype is making me think more and more that it is not. And it's not. I mean, we're going to learn further on. Jeff Grubb has been beating the drum that Hideo is going over to Microsoft. But I still don't really believe him necessarily, though. We'll see. But let's get on to story number 2. Let's see here. Let me get over to the news. Jay, is Dead Space being revived, or are we about to all just die inside? Leaked Dead Space revival game is a reimagining of the series.
Well, EA did say that they're reviving a beloved game series, and they will show it at EA Play, right?
There once was a time when Dead Space was one of EA's premier franchises. Not only did EA release 3 main series Dead Space games, but it also developed spin-offs, comic books, novels, and more in an attempt to turn it into a big multimedia franchise. EA was all in on Dead Space for a while, and while the game sold millions of copies, they still fell short of the company's lofty expectations. This led to EA putting Dead Space on ice, and there hasn't been a new game in the series since 2013. I actually thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was like 2012.
Third one sucked.
Yeah, it was like co-op, and it was way too actiony. The second one was okay, but the first one, in my opinion, is like the best survival horror game of all time. But continuing, fans have been asking for pretty much anything Dead Space related for years, whether that be a Dead Space remaster or even a collection of the original trilogy for modern consoles. While the original Dead Space games are playable on Xbox through backwards compatibility, EA has otherwise not made an effort to bring the titles to newer platforms. However, it seems fans may have finally have some new Dead Space content to look forward to, as a recent rumor points to a Dead Space revival game on the horizon. The rumor originated from GameBeat's Jeff Grubb. I'm sick of saying that fucking guy's name. I feel like I say his name every episode. Who hinted the Star Wars Squadron studio EA Motive is developing a Dead Space game set to be revealed at EA Play event on July 22nd. Since that tease, other publications have reported that EA Motive is indeed revealing a new game at EA Play, and that they will indeed be based on the established IP, though they've stopped short of anything. It will be definitively Dead Space. Let's see here. That was until a new report by Gamatsu, who has separately heard that EA Motive game is a Dead Space revival and that it will be a reimagining instead of a sequel. What exactly reimagining means for Dead Space is unclear, but looking at other video game reimaginings may offer some insight. For example, Ratchet & Clank, the 2016 PS4 game, is billed as a reimagining of the original RNC game. What this meant was that it effectively remade most of the levels from the original game, but also added in new story content, gameplay features, and fresh levels as well. It's possible that Dead Space revival from Motive will be something similar. It could be a retelling of Isaac Clarke's story, while not being afraid to stray off the beaten path. Jay, did you play Dead Space at all?
Yeah, I played the first two.
Okay, yeah, you said the third one sucked. Yeah, no, like I said, the first Dead Space is literally like my favorite horror game of all
The
time.
Worm.
Dude, it's so fucking terrifying, but then it's just really epic. I just love the concept that your weapons aren't weapons. They're tools that you're using cuz you're an engineer. Like they really leaned into the survival aspect in the sense of you're just an engineer and this is all you have. Like, you don't eventually get, an assault rifle or anything like that in the first game. Um, you're running around with a nail gun essentially. And it's really like that from the get-go really makes you feel constrained. And then
The
it is
dismemberment system.
Dude, it's Resident Evil 4 in space, but it's an actually dope story because it's cosmic and it's sci-fi, so you can do crazy wacky shit and have it be, cohesive. Whereas in Resident Evil, they just get way like, they'll start off grounded and then just get way overboard. But I how do you feel about insiders and people like Jeff Grubb just dropping this information? Because I can't help but feel like EA's motive or EA motives, the EA motive, I guess, event next month. I can't help but feel like that'll be hindered by this in the sense of I imagine the two big reveals that or the big shows that they would have would be this Dead Space reveal and Skate 4. Like, like an actual trailer for that. I would imagine those would be the two big cuz I mean, what else was EA going to show? They're going to show you like
Battlefield again.
yeah, they're going to show you maybe like an actual like 8 minutes of uncut gameplay. Like here's a bunch of we put a bunch of, COVID starting to clear up, so we put a bunch of famous people on a stage and have them all, face off against each other. Here's Xavier Woods, going up against The Rock or some shit. I don't fucking know. So yeah, like, I could see him doing, something like that for Battlefield, but then Madden, you show Madden, FIFA, you show a little FIFA trailer, maybe you're working on an indie game. I mean, what,
Dude, maybe it's the Saboteur.
one can only hope, and that one is you, Jay. That one is you.
Or Mercenaries.
I mean, my big hope is that EA is looking at all these other teams that are remaking from the ground up and remastering some of their games, specifically Capcom with Resident Evil, and just getting a lot of love from the community. Like, let's take this game that already has, it already has everything. We just need to polish it. We just need to reinvigorate it. And then we get this just Capcom was dying. Like Capcom was doing not well before, I want to say, Resident Evil 7, like not long ago. Capcom was like not doing too hot. But then Resident Evil 7 came out and people fucking loved it. And then
Do you think they'll keep doing like Resident Evil 7, 1 or 2 and 3, and then 8, and then they're gonna do 4 and 5, and then 9?
I don't think you're gonna get 5. I think you're gonna.
But yeah, 5 was a dumpster fire.
I think they're gonna remaster 4, and then they're gonna stop at 4, and then they're just gonna continue with new Resident Evils.
Or maybe some oldies like Code Veronica.
Sure, you could do that. I don't know if they'll maybe. But yeah, I would almost bet money that they're gonna do 4 next. But yeah, no, I mean this this I feel like this could potentially really hinder the EA event because we're gonna or at least I'm gonna live react to that when that happens, July 22nd, and I'm gonna watch Battlefield. I'm gonna be like, that's cool. Always hyped to see more Battlefield. Can't wait for this game. And then Madden's gonna pop on. I'm gonna zone out. FIFA's going to pop on, and I'm going to zone out. I actually think they acquired Codemasters, so they might have some racing games. You see, I think they might be trying to revive some shit to get some love. You know, they announced Skate last year. Dead Space will get, you know, announced this year. What if they announced Burnout, dude? Burnout was EA, right? Was Burnout EA?
Let's look up Burnout 3. Criterion.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, dude, if they were to announce a new fucking Burnout, like if they were to announce a new Burnout, a new Skate, and Dead Space being revived, that would be fucking massive.
Real quick. I just got a text. The city next to me released a new bakery, ice cream, smoothies, lunch options, and coffee. It's called Nestle Toll House, just like the cookies. It's a Nestle bakery. Holy sweet Jesus.
Jay, I could have paused the show and told you that I have an idea for a shoe store local called 21 Kicks. But did I do that? Did I pause the flow of the show?
This is real.
21 Kicks could be real, Jay. 21 Kicks could be real. It's our area code.
21 Kicks.
You're telling me that's not bomb. Come on now.
Well, it finally hit, so yeah.
Okay. Story number 3. Cycling back to Kojima somehow and still talking about Jeff Grubb. Microsoft is getting serious again about cloud-native games. To that end, the company's Xbox division announced today it had hired former Stadia game designer, director Kim Swift to oversee cloud gaming collaborations with independent studios. Those studios will include Kojima's Kojima Production if and when Microsoft closes that previously reported deal, according to our sources. See? That's what fucking pisses me off about this guy. He's tweeting nonstop that, you know, Kojima's working with Microsoft. I've been telling you that Kojima's working with Microsoft. So then why are you saying if and when Microsoft closes the deal that you previously reported? Like, if it's a done deal, then say it's a done deal. Don't fucking tweet all day it's a done deal and then say, well, it may or may not be a done deal. Like, Jesus Christ. Kim is going to build a team. This is in quotes. Kim is going to build a team focused on new experiences in the cloud, something that's going to support our mission of bringing our Xbox games to connect 3 billion gamers to our games, Xbox Studio publisher boss Pete Wise said in an interview to Polygon. Before Stadia, Swift was development lead on beloved Valve software games Portal and Left 4 Dead. She will now use that expertise, game/cloud expertise, to help Xbox partners. Microsoft is making this move in part to specifically aid Kojima. That legendary developer was previously going to make a game with Stadia, but Google has backed away from games. The Metal Gear creator is now in the midst of negotiations with Xbox to produce that game. Kojima Productions is still in the early design phases for that game. Oh my God. I said it I'm pretty sure I said it last episode in our E3 wrap up. Kojima showed up at Summer Games Fest and talked about PlayStation heavily and was nowhere seen or heard at Xbox's stage or at Microsoft's stage. Now, this is the story that I'm like, I'll wait. Now, the way Jeff Grubb's been summing it up is he's been talking about it like Kojima's only making an exclusive for Xbox. And he he really annoys me in the sense of he's the only insider that just he's a yapper. He just does not shut his mouth. If you tell something to him, don't trust that he'll keep it a secret. He will tweet it out, I imagine, within a month. So like I would like be careful talking to that guy. And I don't trust him because he's like tweeted out random shit that hasn't been true. And he's just I'm getting off track and I'm losing my sense of thought because I don't necessarily believe that he's making only an exclusive for Xbox. I think he's partnered with Xbox to make a cloud game, but I don't believe in hell that the game isn't coming to PlayStation. There is no fucking way. I will bet money on. And I'm rambling, and like I said, I got off track. He announced that Elden Ring was not going to be at E3. And Elden Ring was at Summer Games Fest the day before E3, when basically everyone is counting it a part of E3, but it's not officially a part of E3. And yeah, immediately after that, he tweeted out, see, I told you it wasn't going to be at E3. I knew it was going to be at Summer Games Fest for months. So he's going to do some shit like that, I think. Once this game is inevitably revealed and it's going to be, cross-platform across all systems, fuck, I could even see it being on the Switch. Like depending on what Kojima's trying to do here. I could see him being like, see, I told you he was working with Microsoft. Like some weird shit like that. I don't know. I've rambled on and on and on. Jay, I know you don't give two flying fucks about Kojima. So, I mean, do you have anything you want to say about this whole conspiracy that has been taking over my mind for the last, I don't know, 3 months?
I once saw someone eat a grub on Fear Factor.
So you're saying this Jeff guy might not be real. He might be a creepy crawly.
Yeah, I think he's a creeper crawler.
You know what? I need to see a picture of Jeff Grubb. Maybe he's Hideo Kojima. Maybe he's been Hideo Kojima this whole time.
Maybe Jeff Grubb translates into Hideo Kojima.
I'm gonna have to look that one up here in a moment. Story number 4. We're gonna blaze through these because we still got a topic of the show to do. Cyberpunk 2077 is returned to the PlayStation Store, but Sony says base PS4 version still has issues. I'm not even gonna read this story. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. If you have a nice PC, don't buy it. If you have a new gen console like an Xbox Series or a PS5, don't buy it. If you have a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One, don't buy it. If you have just a vanilla PS4 and a vanilla Xbox One, don't buy it. There is no fixing this game to anything substantial anytime soon. Nothing.
My thing was, I never got into the hype. I barely knew what the game was. It looked kind of cool. A buddy gifted it to me. I played through it without any crashes or issues, and I was like, wasn't The Witcher.
No,
and that was it.
No exaggeration. One day, this game had to have crashed 15 times. In one day, and I couldn't do it. I did beat the game. There were some cool parts of it that I did like, but over the course of the 40 hours I put into it, that game is not worth it at all. It is Call of Duty Borderlands. The first person sex scenes as Keanu Reeves were fucking weird. Dude, I love Keanu. I love him. He is not between this in Toy Story 4, the dude is not a voice actor. No. The dude is not good at voice acting. I'm sorry. It's the fucking truth, unfortunately.
All right, let's be honest. Keanu Reeves is an amazing actor, but he's not good at dialogue unless he's Ted.
Dialogue, yeah, from Keanu is not the best.
It's not the best. Like John Wick says like 5 things and kills everyone and then says like 2 things.
All right. Story number 5. This is another one I'm not going to read. It's true. PS4.
I'll play it.
PS4 exclusive Ghost of Tsushima could be coming to PC as only PlayStation is removed from box. That's confirming to you that it's true. Play this game. I know you said you're going to play it, but I'm just telling you out there, play this game. Oh my God, I platinumed this game last year. It was one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game, as Last of Us Part 2 came out last year. Can't even do. It was second favorite game last year, and that's putting it above Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is a remake of one of my favorite games of all time. You have to play this game. It does so much more with the open world exploration and side quest narratives. The way they treat side quests in this game are perfect. The map is broken up into 3 sections, and each section has, okay, so you start off in the first section and there's 5 different people, and you go and do 5 different side quests for them. They're all a story, though. They're all telling a story. It's all a branched narrative. And then once you go to area 2, that's where the story for them opens up, along with your story. And just the way that they use exploration, in the sense of, it's very much Breath of the Wild, in the sense of, I see this beautiful looking tree over on this hill, over there. I gotta go check it out. I gotta go see what's popping off over there, shit like that. Just scenery really, rolls you into the game. You're riding your horse, and then a bird flies up and starts chirping, and then flies off to the side, and you're like, well, I'm gonna go follow the bird. And then the bird takes you to, a location of some sort. It's fucking awesome. And then, not to mention, the narrative is really, really good. The combat is honestly probably the weakest part of the game, and it's still fucking awesome. It's Batman Arkham, but as a samurai or a ninja. It is, like, I cannot stress enough how much you need to play this game if you have access to it, which it sounds like a lot of people will shortly. Yeah, you said you want to check this game out, though?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, the narrative, I mean, the story's really, really gripping. The voice acting is awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for more people to play this game, because, I mean, I'm going to replay it once it comes to PC, just so I could play it at fucking 144 FPS. Jesus Christ, I'm going to destroy it. And then our final story, Jay. Another story that I do not want to get my hopes up. Sony has registered a trademark for PlayStation Experience. The trademark was spotted by Tech Game Box before being shared by Redditor Fear, who posted their findings on gaming leaks and rumors. Within the post, they shared the trademark application while bringing the attention to the previous rumors about a presentation happening in early July. Jay, I want PlayStation Experience to come back so badly. I was never making enough money to be able to go to PlayStation Experience, and it ended. And while PlayStation does file a lot of trademarks all the time, a lot of the times it's just, the trademark was up and they just want to, reestablish it. I want this to come back so badly. Would you be interested in a PlayStation Experience at all?
Yeah.
It's like a TwitchCon, but for PlayStation.
Yeah, they're all dope. I'd go to an Xbox Experience, even though I don't even play Xbox.
Like the reason PlayStation Experience ended in 2017 was because they said we've showed everything we got. Now it's just time for the shit to come out. Now we're at the start of the new generation. I think it's going to come back. I don't know if it's necessarily going to come back this year. I think it'll come back next year. With COVID just wrapping up and everything, I think this year is too soon. But next year, they're talking about the PSVR coming out, PSVR 2 coming out in 2022. So I feel like that'll be the big, that'll, that 2022, fall 2022, that'll be the Anaheim, California, where it's always been held. I think that'll be the big thing. But it'll be weird though, because PlayStation Experience was Sean Layden's thing. Is Jim Ryan, the corporate stooge, gonna come out on stage? Is he gonna be friendly all of a sudden? I don't know. But
No, they'll just get like Terry Crews to host it or something.
see, that'd be awesome. But
Yeah,
it also wouldn't be awesome because I want someone who's into games.
Terry Crews is 100% into games. Are you shitting me?
Is he?
Oh yeah, he builds his own PCs and shit with his kids.
Oh, well,
They
hell yeah,
game
then.
out all the time.
Fuck yeah, get Terry Crews then. But that is it for our stories. We are going to get into our closing topic here, which is games that have aged like a fine wine. I also put in parentheses, or sour milk. I don't know if you'd put any in there for your list. I haven't looked at your list at all. And by that I just meant a game that you remember loving, and then you just go back and you're like, oh fuck.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna text you and say we should do that next week.
All right, yeah,
Rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Like, oh, this game's the shit, and you go back and you're like, this game is not it.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at a couple of games because off the top of my head right now, Rise of the Argonauts. I know that is going to suck. But fuck did I love that game. But we have been going for almost an hour and a half now. I gotta piss like a motherfucker. I gotta grab another beer, and I haven't even smoked a cigarette. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're taking a short little break. We'll be right back. What's up, everyone? We are back with our closing topic. Thanks for joining us at Punk with a Controller. You could catch us live over at twitch.tv/punkwithacontroller. Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Jay Hamilton, aka twitch.tv/LordxHam. Please go and follow and show him some love. With our closing topic here, we are talking about games that have aged the best. Games that just... you can go back today and play them, and they still hold up like when you played them the first time. Jay, why don't you hit me with your first game that has aged like a fine wine?
Hitman Blood Money.
100%.
Solid.
100%.
Solid. And guess what? I bought it on Steam for $1.50 on a sale 2 years ago. And I was like, I remember I was like, I'm just going to see what this is like on the PC. Because as a kid, I always wanted to play on a PC. I ended up beating the game.
300 FPS, even though your monitor only does 144. And it's still the best Hitman.
I think the new trilogy is the best because it took all the good stuff from Blood Money and put it into that. But yeah, I don't know. Hitman Blood Money is pretty fucking good, dude.
I like Blood Money more than the new trilogy just because I felt like the new trilogy was too guided in the sense of, even on the hardest difficulty, you could still, if you know where the guy's at, you just follow him and get his suit, and that's your in.
Well, yeah, but the thing I'd like to do in the new trilogy is suit onlys.
Yeah, they got super narrative heavy with the new trilogy.
But it also has the traditional ones. There's endless ways to complete each one of those, and that's why I got behind them doing the monthly episodic map each month, and everyone was pissed. They're like, why am I paying $60 and getting this over the course of months? And I was like, because they release one map, right? And at first I'm like, oh, that's it. And then I'm like, oh,
you'll spend 3-4 hours in that map alone.
20. You're just scratching the surface. But yeah, Hitman Blood Money is a timeless game. They just celebrated their 15th anniversary. Did a limited merch collection. I got a piece of merch. Had to. And yeah, go play that shit. It's like probably full price, $10 on Steam. Worth.
So my let's see here. My four bottom ones here. There were just so many games to choose from. I didn't know
You
what
picked
to
a couple good ones, man.
I didn't know what to go with. So my number 10 just right off the get-go is Pokemon. There's a reason why those games have hardly changed at all since Yellow,
There's a
Red and
reason
Blue.
why those old versions are so hard to find, and when you find them, they're so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best. People joke that they're baby's first RPG, but that's because that's what they are. It introduces us to, turn-based mechanics and, healing potions and stat effects and progression and all of that. Um, so I still play Pokemon every year, just about. I couldn't tell you the last one I actually completed. I'm looking forward to Diamond and Pearl being remade because now thinking back on it, Diamond and Pearl might have been the last ones that I completed. But I've played just about all of them. I don't know if I did. What was the last one? Like Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not play those because I didn't have a Switch at the time. Um, but yeah, no, I mean Pokemon, yeah, it's timeless. It'll never die. They're only going to age well. They're perfect.
Agreed. I've never played one, but I watched a lot. Agreed. Watched the show when I was a kid, and I was Ash Ketchum for Halloween. Had a Pokedex.
My mom never bought me the Pokedex.
Dude, I fucking
Broke my
I
heart.
begged for that thing. And I remember I got it, and we were out at Walmart one day, and I had it. And this lady came up to me. She's like, "Where's your mom?" And my mom came over, and she's like, "I'll give you $150 for that thing right now in his hand." I was like, "Fuck no."
What's another one though? What's another one you got?
Let's see here. Let me just go in order. The Max Payne series.
I haven't gone back. Max Payne 3, that came out in like 2012, 2011, 2012, 2012. That game, that game is really fucking good and really
It's really
fun.
fun.
Yeah, and that game holds up really well. How do the old ones hold up? Because those were early aughts games. They were still technically in the polygonal era. So yeah, how did that?
Well, the first one, I remember when the third one was coming out, I replayed the first two. I replayed the first one on an iPad and beat the whole game on an iPad, and it was perfect. Perfect on an iPad playing Max Payne 1. And then I got Max Payne 2 on the PC and played through that, and it was just I beat the whole thing. It was just as good, especially like when you play the first one and the second one on PC because it can analog stick controls, aren't all jank. You're using a mouse and shit. But
Okay.
yeah, they hold up. And actually, there is for Max Payne 1 on the PC, there's a Kung Fu mod, which turns, you're just a badass, Kung Fu and shit. And it has the Enter the Matrix melee system put into it. And then the second one, someone came out with this first person mod, and it looks beautiful. Beautiful. It just like literally changes the camera and that's it. And it looks great. But yeah, like I look back fondly on those games. I watch people play them still. And yeah, I think they hold up. Good story. Dude is a depressed man and
Drug addict,
hates his
alcoholic.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Max Payne. 3 specifically. Dude, that game just plays so well.
I just like
Um,
the bullet holes in 3. They're
yeah,
cool
oh my
looking.
God, yeah, the
You can
final
keep shooting
kills.
them.
Yeah. Um, I'm not gonna go in order. I'm gonna jump around here a little bit. So I know I wanted to include a 3D platformer because I mean, I struggle to find or I struggle to think of a 3D platformer that hasn't aged well. Honestly, maybe like if any of them like
Jack and Daxter 1.
yeah, I haven't played that one in forever. So I couldn't say that. But like I was thinking more so like Super Mario like 64. Like maybe like, that game probably hasn't aged well.
It
But
hasn't.
all of the Ratchets have aged well. I assumed all of the Jacks have aged well. Maybe I'm wrong about Jack 1. But I wanted to include one that I feel like kind of gets swept under the rug a little bit, and that's Sly Cooper.
Fire.
Sly Cooper was really big for PlayStation and just I feel like 3D platformers in general, just because I feel like I don't know if a 3D platform was ever that open before, like that big of a space to go out and explore.
The first Jack and Daxter felt huge.
Yeah,
Each world felt huge.
yeah. I felt like Sly felt bigger to me though. I don't know. There was something to me about Sly. I think it might have been the stealth incorporation of it, all of that, and his team. But I wanted to call out Sly Cooper specifically just because that is a game that I mean, like people always talk about Jack coming back, and I feel like Sly was just as beloved as all these other platformers, and
Yeah.
I don't see anyone talking about him.
Oh, I
He
have one. I know one person that literally, like, a good friend of mine. You know him too. Good friend was my drummer.
Oh, Io.
Yeah, and he got a Sly Cooper tattoo, dude. Like he got the cane on his arm. Like he's
That's a
like
dope tattoo.
it is next to his PlayStation buttons down the other arm. Like man, like yeah, every year Sly 4, dude, Sly 4 because the third game left on a cliffhanger,
Yeah.
a massive cliffhanger.
Um, if I remember correctly, in the collection when you beat it, it had a trailer or a teaser for the fourth one that just never came out. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot in Ghost of Tsushima because it's made by Sucker Punch. It's made by the same people who made Sly Cooper. There's a lot of guts from Sly Cooper in Ghost of Tsushima, like the way you cross like the tight ropes and shit like that. You walk like just like Sly Cooper, like that like slanky kind of movement, that crouch hunched over movement. Um, and there's a PlayStation trophy that is specifically an Easter egg to Sly Cooper. You get this one specific sword, like this sheath for your sword. You get the specific die for your armor, and then you get the specific headband, which has Sly's staff on it. And yeah, I can't remember what the trophy's called, but it's specifically a call out to like it's like feeling Sly, huh? It's like something like that. Um, so yeah, there's guts of that game, and I'm not gonna spoil anything for Ratchet, but there's a lot of PlayStation love in that game with the riffs and the breaks and dimensions. Um, so yeah, I would love. I mean, out of out of the two, Jack and Sly, I would prefer to see Sly, but I think we'll more likely see Jack. But what's another one for you?
We got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Yeah. Do I need to say any more? Especially Majora's Mask. I know people complained about the time mechanic, but that was way ahead of its time.
Uh, uh, Majora's Mask was my favorite. I'm in the minority where I prefer Majora's Mask over Ocarina. I just thought it was more
Yeah,
fun.
I just like even like I haven't played either in years, but if I ever have like the N64 out at my mom's or something, I'll like throw it in and there's always an old ass profile I had on there that's stacked, you know.
All the
Hop in and play
masks.
it. Yeah, and like I don't know, it's just like what kids see in Breath of the Wild is what I still see in that game.
Well, that's my whole thing where I'm kind of like in the opposite in the sense of where I said, I like Majora's Mask more because I thought it was more fun. But I understand that Ocarina is the better game just because it was more impactful. Like, a game, like, the way I was talking about Sly, being that open, there was never a game, like that, before Ocarina. There were some JRPGs where, they had some weird mechanic where you're tiny moving around, but, not to that scale for Ocarina. And I feel like that's going to be the same with Breath of the Wild 2 and whatever that's called, in the sense of, Breath of the Wild is going to be more impactful out of the two because they established this world, this exploration, this scale, these physics. But I feel like potentially in the end I could like the second one more because they've created all that. They've been using and working with all of that for years at this point. So now let's take all of that and make it fun.
Yeah, I mean, find Majora's Mask in Breath of the Wild, then nothing fucking attacks you.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Wait, you find Majora's Mask in Breath of the Wild?
No.
Oh. You can spoil the game for me. Like, I don't care. Like,
Are you sure? Yeah, you do. You
okay,
do.
yeah, that's dope. Hell yeah.
So you're like, God damn it!
No.
I need to play this game.
Trust me, I do still want to get back to it. I just Ratchet, I got to complete, and I got to beat my dead friend's high scores. This next one, I'm literally just going to kind of blow past Castlevania. One of my, if not my favorite video game series of all time. I desperately want that to come back more than anything. And yeah, you want to talk about a game that is aged like a fine wine. The Metroidvania term exists for a reason because Castlevania Symphony of the Night changed action RPGs and made them what we know they are today. And that game is still absolutely stunningly gorgeous. The pixel art is unbelievable every frame, and it still plays like a dream. I know there's a collection with Rondo of Blood, I think, on Steam. I haven't played it on Steam, so I don't know how that runs. I did play it on PlayStation. Great time, great experience. So, god damn it, that game holds up. Arguably better than any other game on my list except for one. But Jay, what's your next one?
Rampage.
Whew.
Specifically, Rampage 2.
Whew. That is a callback.
Callback. But I was thinking in my head, because you put one, you're number 7, and I was like, what's a game that like I go into any arcade and I was like, oh dude, like let's play a round of this. Well, I still have it. I play it when I go over to my mom's with my little sisters. They like to play it on the N64. And dude, there's just something about the side scrolling, whoever can destroy the most shit and eat the most food, destroy the whole city and all the little people and all the little Easter eggs and all that shit. Like that game that just hasn't changed for me, at least. Like it's just in my eyes, it's an arcade game on the N64. Therefore, the graphics don't matter and the gameplay still holds up because it's still fun, arcadey, monster co-op shit.
Could you imagine the hype at a Nintendo Direct if they announced a new Rampage? Because
With
like,
The Rock.
like thinking back, like that game style has kind of died out. Like they don't really exist anymore.
They don't, and it's like, are people like? I feel like people forgot about Rampage, but I didn't.
Like I get that they're not vast games. They're like, they're couch co-op fun, kill a couple hours with your friends in an afternoon game, but like what's like, what's the difference between Rampage and Overcooked? You know what
Right.
I'm you know what I'm saying? Or like, like Rampage and like Hotline Miami. Like, like our Gang Beasts. Uh I really feel like or at least like, an indie dev who like made a spiritual successor, or like a game that was heavily influenced by Rampage. I feel like would actually do pretty well because yeah, no, thinking about it now, those games on like a bigger scale, like with the tech we have now, could be actually really fucking cool.
That's how they should have done the 3 Godzilla games that they have released.
Oh God.
2D, 2D like that, like destroy the buildings and fight each other instead of.
Well, I'm looking at it almost from like a Diablo, like a top-down kind of perspective, and you're in like a whole city.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Like I said, like with the tech we have, like with Rampage, like I'm thinking bigger than just 2D or 2.5D. Um so like yeah, no, actually someone should fucking crack down on that. That'd be a moneymaker.
Yeah, dude, Rampage. Look it up on YouTube, kids.
This
Or
one
go to
you
an arcade. You know what that is?
this one you don't have to look up on YouTube. This one you can look up on Google Play or Apple Store. Tetris. I This is the only mobile game I have on my phone. This is the only game I will play on my phone from time to time when I'm bored and need to kill 5 minutes.
Yep.
There's a reason why Tetris will never die. I mean, Tetris Effect came out in like what 2018, and that was like
Well,
one.
no, Tetris. What is that? Tetris 80, 85, Tetris
Yeah, it's
whatever. That's
Tetris
a
Battle
battle royale,
Royale. Yeah.
but it's still lit. I heard it's still really good.
Yeah, no, people loved it. Yeah, no, the game is or Tetris is super innovative and it's one of the oldest video games and it'll never die out and it's like it's what video games were meant to be in the beginning. It's fun.
Dude,
There's nothing, it's not pretty. There's no narrative. There's nothing to it.
so
It is just plain fun.
well, because you said no narrative. I'll never forget being little, PS2 era, right? Early 2000s. And my mom, not a gamer, but she liked Tetris. Like, I feel like everyone knows how to play Tetris, right? It's not hard to learn how to play Tetris. And my mom liked it. And I remember she bought me Tetris Worlds. You remember that game on the PS2? It had
Yeah.
a narrative and a story and everything. And it was like the dumbest shit ever, but it was such like a humble like homage to Tetris, and I remember playing that with my mom, like against each other, and like yeah,
I
Tetris, dude.
I
Even the
remember
theme song, the theme
um
song.
my one of my friends growing up, Feldman, you can see him in the chat right there. He got Dr. Mario when he was a kid for the Nintendo 64, thinking it was going to be, a Mario game. But it was really just Tetris. But like Mario themed and everything and pill themed. Um and he's just like, "Hey, do you want this? Like this game sucks. I want to play it." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll check it out." I was fuck yeah, dude. Like I was hype. I was like, oh shit, this is just Tetris. Let's go. Yeah, no, Tetris is really just it's perfect. But yeah, that's all I got to say on Tetris. What else you got?
All right, we got one that I have installed on my PC as we speak.
Fuck.
It's
Fucking
half a meg. It's
God
half a
damn it.
gig. Half a gig.
That's
Diablo 2.
rant about it. I'm gonna grab a beer real quick.
All right, you go grab that beer. I'll talk about one of the greatest RPG games ever made. All right, well, Dungeon Crawler. Diablo 2, it has aged like fine wine. I will say it is one of the only games that is always installed on my PC because, like I said, it's about half a gigabyte, if that. And there's just some about the vibe, the music, the gameplay. Like, yeah, it it's not easy on the eyes. doesn't look as good as Diablo 3
Oh,
at
but
all.
Diablo Resurrection's gonna be out soon, so you don't gotta worry
Yeah.
about that.
And guess what? Click of a button, just make it go back to that old look. And like, and there's a reason why they're remastering Diablo 2 for like the new generation. I just remember that game as a kid, and like I said, I'm still playing it as we speak, another playthrough, and God, it's just it's a great game. It holds up. It's just a great dungeon crawler, hack and slash with a good story and good enemies and good vibe.
I never played Diablo 2. So I am very excited to hop into Resurrection. And I heard that you're able to have like 8-player co-op in Resurrection. And I'm like, bruh, fucking 2 people was like too much in Diablo 3. Like, shit would get so epic and there's so much happening on screen. What's fucking 8 people gonna look like? But that just makes me
People
hype for the epicness.
people still play Diablo 2 multiplayer for like world records and shit.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I know people who've spent hundreds of hours, like thousands of hours in Diablo 2, so I am definitely, and it looks really good. The remaster, it does genuinely look really good.
It looks
Um
really good, but dude, like I still like the old look. It just reminds me of like the year 2000. Like when you play it and you can't play it in full screen, you know?
yeah.
There isn't even a patch for it. The game won't even work like that in 1080p or 720 for that matter. But I don't know, just like mm, chef's kiss.
Uh Jay, do you ever think we'll get an Arma 4?
No,
No? I don't either.
no.
I think Arma 3 uh basically did what the series set out to do. I don't really know if there's too much more you could do with the gunplay and the mechanics, more that they
Why
want to
they're
do. I mean, like graphically, I mean, I think the game like looks
it
great. It
it looks
looks
great,
sorry, go on.
but no, you're good. It looks great, but like Bohemia just loves letting the modding community do what and then all they have to do is do what they just did. They just like blew up again because they're doing community packages. They just did a whole Vietnam thing. Like a whole Vietnam campaign and stuff. It was like a community creations thing and they really yeah, it's huge. It like just released like last month. And yeah, it's all Vietnam.
Take my money here. I
It's
want.
free. It's free. It's like a content update type thing. And then they did the arrival with like the aliens coming to Earth, and your like first encounter with that was a DLC.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That
I just remember the old man DLC. That
oh
was where I
dude, yeah,
left
that was
off.
sick.
Yeah.
I loved it. That
Oh
was
my.
hard.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like
That. See, that's like when we talk about like Tarkov and like Dead Side and like all these games. That's what I want. Like a hyper realistic Far Cry almost.
that's what it was. People are like, "What's this all about?" I'm like, "Far Cry, but it's real life."
It's survival Far Cry.
But like at to the most like
Dude,
like
a
all right,
check.
when
So
a checkpoint, yeah,
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 a
yeah.
checkpoint in Far Cry. At the very beginning, I'm in a 20-second firefight with your base AK. When you're fully kitted, you fucking just shoot a grenade launcher in there and just blow the whole place up and drive right through. No matter what you have in this game, you are in that firefight for 15 minutes, 10
And then you
minutes.
die because I call him backup
Yeah.
because you actually like it's not like Far Cry where you're a one-man army. It actually feels like one old veteran against a whole military force. Like like it's like Far Cry, but if it was so realistic, like you like go up on a checkpoint, you're like, wow, there's like 10 people here. I better come back in the middle of the night. So
Yeah.
they can't see me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Or
like you come back in the middle of the night and they're like, Yeah, we're just gonna fucking flush him out with jets.
Or you're like, I'm gonna, okay, I gotta raid this place. This is a hideout. I'm gonna wait until night here. I could go and just like, time warp, just speed past time. And then you come out and you walk outside and you're like, oh shit, I literally can't see my hand in front of my face. I forgot night vision goggles. And then you're stuck. You got to go back inside, sleep until day, go get night vision goggles.
I also love how sandboxy that DLC is. Like when it's like it's like Arma where it gives you the objectives and that's it. It's not like, oh, go in this building and grab this bomb and then go over here. No, it's like blow up the police station or blow up the house.
That's it.
And try to bust out our buddy in the police station. You might be able to do it. Or like I like how they're like, here's the coordinates to a safe house. There's a gift. And it's like a shitty double barrel shotgun. But like I got really far into Old Man. Like I'm stacked. Like my home base, I have like a bunch of military vehicles and I have like hundreds of guns I've collected and stuff from like different parts of the map because like I really dove into it and I really started playing it like thinking outside of the box. Like I remember I was in a fight, running away from the dudes. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And I'm running. I'm like, oh my god, there's this little boat and it's out of gas. So then I had to go into like the farmhouse and I stole the gas and I filled up the boat. And then I'm driving the boat and they're not intentionally trying to kill me with the jets. They're literally trying to scare me and they're just shooting shots in the water next to me as I'm like leaving. And then I had to like scuba dive and do some shit and
it's so like the world of Arma is so massive and like how Bohemia relies too hard on modders to make a lot of their content. That's also what makes Arma so special is that these people can do so much with this sandbox world. They can make this whole Vietnam expansion essentially. It reminds me of that guy who like he literally tweeted out like I don't know why GTA 5 online load times are so bad. I literally did X, Y, and Z and it cut load times in half for me. And then Rockstar hired him and he cut load times like in half for online for all of like that shit is cool, I think.
Have you ever I dabbled when I first started streaming. I have clips and stuff. Arma Life RP?
That's too deep. That's too deep for me. Like
it was fun.
I'll do like an RP, like a sim thing for GTA if I was like ever invited or like was able to do that. Like that I'm fine with just because GTA is such a universe I'm established with and care about and one that will never die out. But Arma is like we were saying, like hyper realistic, super survival. So all of that on top of being a sim, I'm like, this is too much. This is too much.
I don't know. I had to get a driver's license and a weapons permit. And then me and my buddy Wagner got a job at like harvesting these crops. And
Dude,
then because we got a harvesting license, we were able to get class 2 weapons to defend our crops and shit. So we were able to get like rifles. And then one dude comes up and he told me hands up or die, kid. And I'm backpedaling and he's like, hands up or die, some kidded out dude. And I whipped out my CCW and I gunned him down and there was a paramedic. I'm like, call 911 now. I just defended myself. And the paramedic's like, well, I'm going to revive him. He's going to get back up and try to kill you again. So you need to just get out of here. Then I left, went to another city, and the cops were like, hey, we have like a search for you. Like, were you involved in a shooting up north? And I was like, yeah, maybe. Like, the cop was like, come into the alley with me. He gave me a ticket. But because I was in self-defense, he took $100 off my ticket.
Basically, like, all these games are what Fallout 76 wanted to be. um, but yeah, no, I fucking love that game, and it looks like your next game, I know we were specifically talking about Arma 3, but Arma has been doing this since 2006. Like, they have been the sandbox modder. So many H1Z1 came from Arma.
DayZ came from Arma
Yeah,
too.
games like literally have come from this engine from Bohemia. I
Oh
mean,
no, Arma Player Unknown's Battle Royale started in Arma. Then Player
really?
Unknown's
I
took
didn't
his
know that.
idea and ran and made PUBG.
I'm just curious. Arma released it. Yeah, 2006 is when Arma 1 came out. Arma 2 came out in 2009, so you got 3 years right there, 3-year difference. And then I think Arma 3 came out in 2013.
Yeah, something like that. No, 2011.
Yeah, no, 2013.
Oh, okay.
So you got
I got it at launch.
you got a 4-year, or no, not another 3-year difference there. So 8 years have passed since Arma 3 came out. 8 years. Almost. In September it'll be 8 years.
I'm about to send you a screenshot my buddy took and edited in Arma on Instagram. Look at it and tell me if it looks like a real picture.
Let's see here. I mean, it, like, I get what they're going for. It doesn't look good, or it looks really, really, really good. It doesn't look real. I mean, it's like, obviously fake, but I mean, everything that's gone into this mod is extremely impressive. Down to the emote, the equipment he's carrying, the attachments of the equipment, the gear on
Last
his.
one I sent you is me. I took that one in the back of the truck.
Yeah, see, all that shit's really dope. My big issue with Arma is like, it's really fucking hard to get to have it
All
look
right.
really good and not run.
Listen here.
Like, I just want the game to look
Listen,
its
no,
best and
no,
run at
it'll never
60.
happen. It'll never happen. You want to know why? The biggest streamers Sheriff Eli, huge Twitch partner, huge streamer, thousands of viewers. When he does the Vietnam mod, he's at like 40 FPS. Like, it's just not possible.
No,
It's just not possible. And like,
I know, because my whole thing is, if it was possible, my PC could do it.
right.
Like I have, an insanely powerful PC. The only thing that's making my PC not like the most powerful PC is the fact that I don't have a 30 series. Like, other than that, I'm in the top 1% of fucking
Which
PC owners.
GPU prices plummeted today
I
because
could
Ethereum's gone.
I can run Starfield at 60 with the settings all the way up.
Our Citizen.
Star Citizen. No, yes. Star Citizen.
It's
I
like
could.
Starfield, you got to play it.
Yeah, no, I can run Starfield at 60 with, settings cranked all the way up. And that game is 10 times the size and detail of Arma. So yeah, no, that, like, them not being able to do that, that's on their side. I can get Arma to run at 60, but I mean, the settings are just so fucking calibrated.
I'll give you my settings.
Okay.
That make it run good. But like, my thing about Arma is, once you're like me and you've dumped and like so many hours into the game, you get to a point where you're just playing Zeus, the map creator, and I create my own screenshots. So I'm going to send you pictures to show you like every prop, everything you see in this photo, I set up myself and even the water bottles on the ground, like, moved them, and the mat that he's laying on. And I was like explaining to myself in my head, I'm like, why do I find this so much fun? And the reason why is because when I was a kid, I used to play with G.I. Joes all the time. And I used to like, my favorite thing was go outside into the flower bed, and I'd have my little G.I. Joes with all the vehicles, and I'd just set up a diorama. I wouldn't like play with, yo, you got your. No, I would like set up a battle diorama. That was my thing.
100%.
And Arma's just GI Joes for big kids.
I used to do the
Like,
I used to do the same
I
thing with WWE characters.
WWE was a little different for me. I made my own entrance
Well,
thing.
I
I
mean,
had the Hell in the Cell. Like, they were doing freaking
like, you know,
Swanton bombs
I
and
had
shit.
I had the ring, you know, Rey Mysterio. I would spend 10 minutes getting him clipped to the side of the thing, right? So he was mid 619, and then I would, you know, I would have Batista holding a chair, cracking someone over the head.
Bro,
So yeah, no, I totally get that.
let's go to. Hey, by the way, let's go to SmackDown next month.
Dude,
It's
how
expensive, but let's
is
go.
it? Because I was about to
It's
say,
like $120
fuck
a ticket
that.
for like second deck.
Oh my god. I remember that shit being so cheap. Hell no. I'll go when AEW comes. Yeah, for sure. But moving past Arma, we've been on Arma for a minute now. What's your next game?
Stalker.
This is one
Now,
I cannot wait for Stalker 2. I have no
Alright.
attachment or affiliation to the Stalker series, but it just looks so cool.
okay, this is why Stalker ages like fine wine. Gameplay wise, does not age like fine wine. You're gonna have to mod it to make it good. But to this day, no game has ever made an AI system like Stalker. No game has ever made, because it's called A Life. They created it, A Life. And it simulates life
Better than Rainbow Six.
in the world. Huh?
Better than Rainbow Six.
Dude, Rainbow Six is just a SOCOM spinoff, all right?
I'm talking about like Rainbow Six 3. Like you know, like going back.
No, better than that, because like it's open world and everything's living and breathing, and like everyone's doing their own thing. Like you know how some, like Skyrim, all right, you have the route of the lady that she's getting hit on, and she's got the daughter in downtown Whiterun, and or you can find her in her house. She's
Yeah.
like either in her house or she's like out front selling shit in the morning. Yeah, that's cool. They have their little like nightly routine. This is like, oh, I gotta go talk to Sven over here in this village. Well, I'm on the way. Where's Sven? He's nowhere to be found. Oh, he's out hunting. What happened? Some fucking mutant dogs ate him, and now my side quest is gone because he's fucking dead. And but if you replayed it, it'd be completely different on what that dude's doing. Like, you find him in completely different locations.
So like what it sounds like is it sounds like more of what they did in Red Dead Redemption 2 like 20 years later. Like in Red Dead Redemption 2, like you'd be riding down the road and you hear like a dude calling out in the woods, and you walk out there, he's like, I just got bit by a rattlesnake. I need you to suck the venom out of my ankle. I'm gonna die or something. And then you either fucking cap the dude, and that's that, or you get down and you suck, you know, the fucking
and then he
venom.
robs you because he says you're an idiot.
Well, no, he's just like, thank you, mister. I really, you know, I can't tell you how happy I am that you did that. And then, I don't know, 5 hours later, 3 or 4 in-game days later, when you walk into Valentine and you're walking down the road, there's a dude who's like sitting in front of the gun store. He's like, hey, you. Yeah, you're the dude who sucked the venom out of my leg.
I want to give you this gun.
Yeah, he's just like, he's just like, my brother owns this gun store. He's like, go in there and tell him I sent you, and you can, you know, pick anything you want. Like, you know, like, It sounds what you're describing sounds sounds bigger than that.
But that is so predetermined. It's happened every single time I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 because I played through it 4 times.
Oh, that's
it
absurd.
happens every time. It happens every time.
For sure.
On Stalker, it's completely random. And when you play the Anomaly mod, which is free, by the way, go download it and play it. It's like Call of Pripyat and Shadow of Chernobyl, both maps mixed together, open world sandbox, create your own adventure type deal, choose where you spawn, choose what factions you align with. But like that's even crazier because you can have an option to where when you leave the game, the in-game world doesn't stop. It just keeps going and going and going. And next thing you know, you don't play for days and you get on and there's a fucking huge war between the scientist and duty or some shit. Like faction wars that just happened when you were like AFK.
Yeah, I'm just looking at screenshots of the first game, and this game still looks really good visually.
Bro, like I said, I released a couple episodes.
Like character models are, a little iffy, but other than that, like actual scenery in the world, it actually looks really good. For its age too, because this game came out in like what, 02? Something like that?
2004?
Maybe?
8?
Really?
8.
Damn, I did not think it was that new.
It's in development since like 2001.
All right, so 2008, this graphics kind of add up a bit more.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on Steam. Initial release date, March 20th, 2007.
How much is this game on Steam?
I got a package. I got all 3, including Clear Sky, which is like a DLC expansion for the first game. I got all of them for like $20.
God damn.
I have a playthrough I was starting on my YouTube channel that I didn't finish because I had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, the sequel for that, I cannot wait for the sequel for that game. It looks so cool. But if that's all we got to say for Stalker, now we're into my big games. We blew past the shorter ones. Now we're into the big dogs. And number 5 for me is hopefully soon gonna be put to rest finally for Back 4 Blood, because Left 4 Dead is a game that has consistently remained one of the top Steam games.
Left 4 Dead 2. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, just Left 4 Dead as a series as a whole. It's one of the most beloved multiplayer series of all time, I would say. And like I was just saying before, it's got one of the most consistent, like large concurrent player counts on Steam to this day. And like I said at the top, I hope that once Back 4 Blood comes out, it's so good that we can finally put these games from 2007 and 2009 to rest and jump into Back 4 Blood. I mean, you're just as excited for me as that game,
yeah,
right?
I'll play it with you, dude.
Dude,
I'm excited for like the card system.
Oh my god, I do I cannot Back 4 since Horizon Forbidden West does not have a release date, hands down, no questions asked, my most anticipated games this year are Back 4 Blood and Riders Republic.
I'm honestly pretty excited for Elden Ring because it looks cool as fuck.
It's 2022, baby.
Is it?
Yep. January. So not, far into 2022. But
it's still holiday season.
Yeah. But I'm talking about most anticipated 2021 games. Easily right now, Back 4 Blood and Riders Republic. And that is all stemming from my love of Left 4 Dead. I'm really interested in Back 4 Blood. I didn't get into that private beta. My
buddy got 4 keys and he gave me a key, and then it just wasn't open long enough for me to get on and play. So I was kind of upset.
My favorite thing with Left 4 Dead was I play Left 4 Dead in a really strange way, in the sense of, Left 4 Dead games are very linear. You're running from point A to point B and you're killing zombies along the way. I ain't doing shit. Like, I'm starting at point A and I am sprinting to the end. I am killing as few zombies as possible. If you fall, you die. And when I cross through that red door, I'm closing and shutting it. If you're not in there with me, you're dead. I will leave my entire team outside to die if they are a second too late. You know why? Jay, what's the name of the game?
Left 4 Dead.
I'm like, people will be screaming at me on chat. Like, dude, turn around, come pick me up. I'm like, right here. I'm right behind you. I'm like, dude, fuck you, dude. I'm like fucking 10 miles away already. You're Left 4 Dead, bitch. So I'm a little worried that Back 4 Blood might temper with my true love for the Left 4 Dead series. But I have Turtle Rock has 100% earned my trust. Between the first 2 Left 4 Deads, I was a massive Evolve fan. When you got a good team and you got a good game of Evolve, there was nothing else like it. And unfortunately, the servers for that game are shut down, so that'll never live again, which I think is really upsetting because I feel like, maybe in the PC circuit, that game could have, even during quarantine, like randomly seen like a surge of like a player basis, because it was really interesting and like really cool concept and fun. But
Like fucking Titanfall 2. How that game just recently, it just keeps blowing up at random fucking times
That
because
game
of
is-
its mechanics.
yeah, no, Titanfall 2 specifically, I mean, even down to the single player campaign, people stand by that single player campaign being legitimately like one of the great player campaigns of last generation, which I think is wild. But yeah, no, that's cannot wait for Back 4 Blood. I should have muted, but I just realized I fucking burped like a motherfucker right there. Should have muted. But yeah, no, can't wait for Back 4 Blood. Hope it does everything it needs to surpass Left 4 Dead, and I think it will. Jay, you're number 4.
Oh, you can agree with me on this one. The original Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I can't agree with you because I'm not a sim guy. I'd build
You got down on Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I mean, I did and I didn't. Like, I'd play it for a little bit. I'd make a dead end roller coaster so people could die. That was
All right,
about
you
it.
need to go back into it and really sink your teeth.
I was
in
more
and,
of
like,
a
all right,
thrill.
what
I was
are
more.
my-
I was
what
more.
are-
Of, I was more of a Thrillville kind of guy. Bust that bad
Thrillville
boy
was
out on the
cool.
PS2.
I liked Thrillville a lot. Like, that was a sick game. But
you could be a person and walk around your park after you created it, and you could go in first person and ride your own rides that you made.
well, I
I
just
know you could
remember
do
there
that
being
roller.
that Alien VR game in
Oh, yeah,
Thrillville
for
where
sure.
it turned into like fucking Unreal Tournament. It was cool. But no, like the first Roller Coaster Tycoon, this is another game that I have installed on my PC as we speak from Steam. It was like a 75
$1.
cents. And like I picked it up and I was like, because my disc is, well, I haven't seen a disc tray in a PC in years, but it's just like, for some reason, the first one and the second one are good. The third one, not so much. And, Planet Coaster's still good, but it's still over the top. I just think, God, I don't know, man. Just how do I have to explain fucking Roller Coaster Tycoon? It's Roller Coaster Tycoon. Go fucking play it. Like, it's so, like, mind-numbingly easy and, like, good-hearted and, like, I don't know. It's OG, man. And I still play it to this day. It's a time burner.
Fuck, I'm just looking at Unreal Tournament right now because all this reminded you bringing up Unreal Tournament. That's like one of the first games I ever played. And goddamn, Unreal Tournament 3 was fucking epic. But what's do they have Unreal Tournament?
Game of the year.
Oh fuck! Oh wait, no, that's the first one. I passed the second one. Yeah, right there. Oh my god, it's so good. Dude, I love like Unreal Tournament was my Halo. Goddamn. Still want they want so much for these fucking games. Overwhelmingly positive. Hell yeah. So yeah, what was it? My next game, we're just gonna blaze through these. Battlefront 2.
Say no more.
Galactic Conquest. First of all, let's just take a moment of silence. Just put our heads down for pandemic. RIP. Okay, thank you. Battlefront 2.
That was well worth it.
Galactic Conquest was like chess. And I'm just going to leave it at that. We both start. You decide which planet you want to take. I battle you for that planet. We take it into space to final that battle off and move on. I choose my move. You choose your move. I decide which planet is more pivotal to you. You decide which planet is more pivotal to me. And we both choose our path to try and conquer the galaxy. It is so simple. It is so awesome. And I do not know why it has never existed in Battlefronts to this day. Like, dude, if that was in Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 1, that like the most recent ones, I would still be playing those games.
Well,
If it was
Battlefront 1, the
if it
new
was
one
all
a tech
AI,
demo.
yeah. If it was all like AI and bots, and it was like, just me and my friend, and we each had our teams, we could fucking click on 3 guys, and they all join us by our side, and we do our thing. Like, god damn.
Well, I have Battlefront 2 on Steam, and they opened the servers back up, and they're still all populated. So let me know.
The only times I played Battlefront 2 are when I am on
Classic.
349. Yeah, overwhelmingly positive, probably because
What are the reviews?
overwhelmingly
recently?
positive recently. I'm assuming that's because of the servers being turned back on.
Oh, they turned them back on a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Chads only.
But yeah, no, dude.
Yo, real quick, childhood memory. You remember when they used to do anime club at the library? In the teen section?
Yeah.
Well, after school we used to go there, right? And they had all those PCs set up. And if you went to the counter, the secretary, they had a list of games. And they had like enough copies for each PC. They had like 6 PCs. They had 6 copies of Battlefront 2. And we would just go to the library and LAN out on Battlefront 2 for hours.
I'm killing my life. It's killing me. Sorry.
You're good. Mine's killing me too. We'll be the Dark Room podcast.
But yeah, Battlefront 2, it's a treasure of a game. There's nothing. It's perfect.
And as you can still see, a lot of more people play that than the new Battlefront 2. So,
So yeah, I actually might cop that. It's only $3, so why not?
I just wish it was like the first one where you could prone.
Oh yeah. All right.
I remember.
Oh.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna keep the ball rolling with another Star Wars game. That's really good. Hang on. Oh wait. My stack of original Xbox games are put away. But yeah, I got that on original Xbox. Star Wars Jedi Academy, one of the best Star Wars games I've ever played.
I would say the best.
The best,
well, behind KOTOR.
or Bounty Hunter. I don't know if you played Bounty Hunter.
I played Bounty Hunter, but I mean, this or KOTOR. No, KOTOR is undoubtedly no questions asked first. But I would. This is second for me.
Like, all right, here I'll change it. The best lightsaber physics you've ever seen in a video game,
At that,
aside from Fallen Order.
well, I was about to say at the time, yeah.
But even in between that Fallen Order and Jedi Academy, the lightsaber physics were never the same. I remember drawing penises on the wall with my lightsaber because everything it touches, it destroys. Because it's a lightsaber.
So like, so Force Unleashed had really good lightsaber physics, but it was also very, very was it Devil May Cry-ish or God of War, old God of War in the sense. The one game that really stands out to me, it is a gem. It is completely unknown, or not unknown, but just completely like swept under the rug. And I didn't include it in my list, but just, the Revenge of the Sith licensed game.
Oh my God.
There was a couch co-op mode where you choose any of.
My brother played.
It was basically
together.
it was like Mortal Kombat basically, but with Jedis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember at the end you unlocked the secret Death Star fight between old Kenobi and Vader.
Yeah.
And you can see them escaping in the background, and then you unlock those characters. And like, I just love doing Anakin versus Anakin, so you get the red lightsaber variant of Anakin. And like, yeah, and like they even had like different modes with like different maps and shit where they were like timed, and like the boss fights in that game were so epic. And like,
yeah, it was.
I just remember how perfect the lightsaber blocking was. You hold L1 and Anakin would be like this, and then
for sure.
All like the
It
like,
reminded me. It reminded me a lot of X-Men Origins Wolverine, in the sense of it's a licensed movie game, and the movie sucks, but the game is fucking awesome. Yeah, that game was.
I have fond
awesome.
memories of that game.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off on the Jedi.
No, you're
Academy,
good.
but
I think back to that game a lot, and then that where they got that idea of like the Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah, no,
Masters of Terrakaza on the PS1.
Yeah, my
tank of a game.
Yeah, my a few years ago, my buddies were going to the exchange. They're like, what game should I keep an eye out for? What should I bring back? And he was this big Star Wars fan. And I was like, you ever play the licensed, episode 3 game? And he like kind of laughed it off. He's like, no. I was like, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, like that game was I was like, thinking back, it was dope. I could be totally wrong now, but thinking back, it was dope. And dude, we played it for like fucking 2 weeks. Like
right.
he went and got it on the PS2, and yeah, we played it for like 2 weeks. But yeah, no, Jedi Academy is, let's move away from that because we're not talking about that game.
Jedi Academy, is what we're talking about, and for some reason, I played it 2 years ago. I think when Last Jedi came out, I got it on Steam, and I played through it twice. Once as good, and once I followed the dark side. And I like how, so you're a Padawan at the Jedi Academy under Luke Skywalker. It takes place a couple years after, it was canon and now it's not canon. I guess it is canon because Luke did, it takes place between Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi is when Jedi Academy takes place. And I should be saying the Jedi Knight series as a whole because they're all pretty good, Kyle Katarn and all that shit.
Yeah.
But Academy stuck out because it was just like It's just what you wanted to do. You wanted a game. You're a Jedi, but you get to shoot guns as well. And there's that whole level where you get your lightsaber taken away, so you have to use your force powers to kill all the fucking stormtroopers and take their weapons and stuff. And like you just had every force power and every dark side power.
And
And
then
if you
you
used a little too much of the dark side, Luke would be like, "Be careful, like you can use those, but like in moderation because it's gonna fucking fuck you up."
and
And it
then
does fuck you up.
and then you got to the point where you finally got to choose your lightsabers, which is always in all of the Star Wars games is always the best point
And
or
that was
is
the
best
first
part.
one that did it.
Yeah.
And that was like you
Do
want
you
a
want
single
two? Do
saber,
you want a
two,
double?
you want a
Yeah.
double, yeah. And like and I just loved how like the force powers got better and like as you progressed, like at the beginning of the game you can't do a backflip.
Yeah. Oh my God. At
Or
the
like you
next you're
can't
straight
jump
up
high.
flying.
Yeah, like you're straight up doing Jedi shit as you progress, and it's just like even the
The
lightsaber combat was
sandworm
really good.
or the
Oh, that level. Oh
yeah.
my God, where you can't touch the sand and you
Yeah.
gotta like retrieve the parts of your ship.
So tense.
Yeah, and guess what, everybody watching? It's available on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, I
So
forgot they were like they just randomly dropped that game coming back.
for $20, and it's worth every bit of $20 to sit on the toilet and play one of my favorite childhood games.
All right. We've been going for 2.5 hours now, so I'm blazing through
Burn
these
through them.
last three. I put Mario and then in parentheses anything, because literally Mario.
That's why I took Smash off my
It's like the
thing.
term, like Mario created the term "ages like a fine wine." Like maybe Mario 64 doesn't age well. Maybe there's another 3D Mario game like Sunshine, I'm not sure, that doesn't age well. But
Well, they got rid of 3D All Stars.
oh yeah, no, I still got that saran wrapped and everything on my shelf. I really believe that any Mario game as it ages as much as you loved it. Mario Party 3, I will go back to this day and still play and cherish and fucking love. But my favorite Mario game of all time, Mario Strikers. I want that game to come back more than anything. That's another game I have sitting on my shelf. It's Mario Soccer, and it's just the most fun time I've ever had with Mario. It just takes everything I love from Mario and Nintendo games in general and mixes it all into one because that's what the sport is. It takes the competition and the back and forth of Mario Party. It takes the skill, but it's easy to pick up, but it's hard to master skill of like a Mario Kart. And then it's good building in the sense of I do feel like I'm progressing. I do feel like I'm earning stuff in the game. And fucking Mario Strikers I want more than anything. Not the second one. They put out a second one on the Wii and it fucking sucked.
Word. Yeah, I have to agree. Mario anything. I still play Mario 64 over at my mom's. They have a little RCA TV set up underneath the TV.
I
That
want
has
it
the
so bad.
N64 hooked up to it. But my next fine wine, good aged game is a little ditty called. Oh, we got to take another moment of silence for Pandemic. Okay, that one didn't need to be as long. All right. Rest in peace. Anyway, all their games age like fine wine, I feel. But Destroy All Humans. When they announced that they were releasing 1 and 2 on the PS4, I instantly grabbed the first one and I played it. And then I remember I streamed it when they announced that Destroy All Humans was getting remade. And one stream, I played through the whole game, original game, on the PS4. And it's smooth sailing, dog. Like, the game's from 2004, and like they just like to this day, like, still has that charm of Destroy All Humans and is still playable. And the remake is amazing. Like, they just took all the dialogue and they took everything. It feels like the original game, same scenes, same presentation, same dialogue, same everything, and they just brought it into a new engine, Unreal, made it beautiful, fixed the shit that didn't age so well, like the jetpack and stuff. And then they went into the files of the original game and realized that Pandemic didn't finish the game and had levels that were cut. And they took what they had and made those levels and filled the game back out.
That's awesome.
So there's a couple of things that weren't in the original that are in the remake, and the remake's just as good, and it's the same game. And on PC, it's amazing. And just the second one, I didn't really get into as much, but like, yeah, the first one, I played through the original port not too long ago, and it's still, goddamn Crypto. What a good character.
Yeah, and then my number 2 is Skate. Any of the Skate series.
Skate 2, best one.
I was talking earlier about how, Steep is a very zen game for me, and I can't wait for Riders Republic and Skate 4 to hopefully be shown at EA Motive's event on July 22nd. But yeah, I mean, that is a game, like, whenever I play games, I'm usually sitting in this chair at my desk, or I'm sitting in this chair 2 inches from my TV right here. Whereas a Skate or a Steep or a Riders Republic, when it comes out, that's a game where I can lay on my couch or like just hang back in my chair and just kind of zone out too. And that's what means the most to me. And those games, and oddly enough, the physics are similar to Mario in the sense of where they like they're not going to age badly. They will continue to work as well as they did when they initially came out. The only issues with those games is that they were console locked. You can't play Skate on any PC, which is the most infuriating thing ever to me. So yeah, I really hope Skate 4 comes to PC and just comes to wherever it's available. And I can't wait to just fucking lay on my couch and just do random challenges and boost my, because that's the other thing is every Skate game essentially had the same story. You're starting your own skate company, do these things to boost your skate company. You reach this board milestone, you get this amount of gear, you unlock this skater.
I just liked how the second one was like, oh, you got out of prison and you have to rebuild your life.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, weren't you that guy? Referring to the first game, and I liked how it was the same map, just like aged and different.
So yeah, no, Skate is definitely up there for me.
San Vanalona.
But Jay, what is your last game of fine wine, your fine wine game?
This is like an aged like 1912. Like
a cognac.
Fallout New Vegas. This is a cognac, all right? That you found in like the floorboards of your grandma's house from the 20s. Like Fallout New Vegas. Easily the best Fallout game ever made. I was going to put Fallout 3, but Obsidian did it better. With dialogue, quests, quest arcs, characters.
Just real quick, I would argue the last great Western RPG.
I would say so. How many dialogue options were in Fallout New Vegas?
Million.
The game established the new record for the most lines of dialogue in a single-player action role-playing game. New Vegas contains around 65,000 lines of dialogue, beating its predecessor and previous record holder Fallout 3, which contained 40,000 lines of dialogue. 65,000 lines of dialogue. That's why I've played the game over 15 fucking times all the way through, because it's never the same. Never the same. The DLC kicks ass. The vibe kicks ass. Like New Vegas itself as a setting kicks ass. Everything about that game kicks ass. And if you haven't played Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas by now, either you're a young kid that likes to play Fortnite, or you're just not doing it right, man. Like I feel like every gamer needs to play New Vegas at least once. Mod it to your heart's desire, or play it vanilla like I do. And like, God, I just feel like I can't believe it's like one of those games where I'm like, I can't believe there's people that haven't played New Vegas.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it was one of the, if not the last great Western RPG. My final game is one that you may be realizing has been absent throughout this whole list, and it's the obvious number one. I feel it's the number one in all of our hearts. It's Grand Theft Auto. There is no other game that you can just go back to. Now, when we talk about games aging like a fine wine, and I bring up, games like Tetris and Castlevania and some of these older games that, are from the 90s but still age well. When I speak specifically about GTA aging like a fine wine, know that I'm, yeah, sure. If you want, I'm talking about GTA 2 London, or I'm talking about GTA 3.
You're talking about the
I-
3D or the new?
I'm just talking about GTA in general.
The style of the game.
I played GTA San Andreas all the way up, or I played Vice City all the way up until San Andreas came out. I played San Andreas all the way up until 4 came out. I played 4 all the way up, it's 7 years at that point, all the way up until 5 came out. And I am going to continue to play 5 all the way up until 6 comes out. So I just mean the games as a whole. Sure, if I go back and play GTA 3, I'm sure that's a game that'll age like sour milk. I'm sure
I
that
played it this year, and I played Vice City this year.
I bet it controls rough, but you know what? I bet the writing's great still. Because yeah, Dan Houser and Sam Houser and Laszlo and all those guys, they know what they're doing. So again, I don't think there is anyone who would disagree that GTA is one of the best go-to games of all time.
I still think, because we're talking 3 different universes of GTA here. We're talking
Essentially, yeah.
your top-down 90s, 2000, and you're talking about what they call on the YouTubes as the 3D universe. And now you have the new universe, HD universe. But then in Grand Theft Auto 5, they reference Carcer City from Manhunt.
Do they?
So, oh yeah, Michael's like my first big heist, Carcer City, 85.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like,
feel like
they're
they've-
still like all together somehow. But in my opinion, I don't think any game captures Grand Theft Auto. Like, I just think San Andreas is still, I don't know if it's just like because that was my childhood, but like San Andreas just felt so big. And even if you played like watch someone do a world record speed run of the story, it's still like
5 hours.
like hours long.
Yeah.
And like I just felt like San Andreas had it all. and like they had enough of the crazy shit, but then they had enough of like the grounded shit, and the story was rocking. It's kind of like this weird NWA like
Revenge Tale. Yeah.
revenge tale, and like Boys in the Hood type shit. Like, oh my god, like burning that redneck's pot fields when all the cops were
Hell
coming and
yeah.
shit with the flamethrower. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I love GTA. I mean, I love them all. Vice City or San
real quick,
Andreas.
can we put John Marston and his endeavor in Red Dead into this?
Of
'Cause
aging,
you act like you wouldn't pick up Red Dead and play that in Undead Nightmare like tomorrow.
no, that's fine. But I'm also trying to
I'm
think of like older games. Or like,
older,
yeah, that's what I was more so.
Test of Time.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, sure. 10 years from now, I'm sure Red Dead Redemption 1 is still going to play and look and feel fine. I played it earlier last year before 28. I played it leading into Red Dead Redemption 2, so 2018. Shit, it was 3 years ago. But yeah, no, I like San Andreas. I felt like most people, they lean too hard into some of the survival aspects or some of the RPG aspects. Like whenever I would replay San Andreas, the first thing I would do is I would
Go to
spend
the gym.
first few hours of the game just getting myself jacked. Because if you don't do that, anytime you'll just eat and then you'll be a fat guy at the end of the game. And not to fat shame, but I don't want to be a fat guy.
You run slow.
I don't want to be running around like Biggie Smalls. I can't do it. So I like, they incorporated a lot of different mechanics like that into
That's what cheat codes are for.
into San Andreas. So that's what personally, I'm in the minority. GTA 4 is my favorite.
That's my favorite HD.
I feel like they did everything that GTA is supposed to do. It's grounded, it's satirical, visually and gameplay wise, it plays and looks well. Shit, I remember the first time I played GTA 4, my brother came over with it and put it in the 360, and I was like, you put in the wrong game. Like, this is something else. He's like, no, that's Grand. I was like, this is Grand Theft Auto. Like, going from San Andreas to that, like, I'm trying to think of another bigger leap in games.
Dude,
Like visually for me.
I'll never forget when 4, like, they announced it, and it was one of those situations where I was like on YouTube at the time, and I was like, whoa, like Grand Theft Auto 4, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was coming out. And it came out like that week, and I had the flu. And I was like, Mom, like, can you like, that was when like you had, remember back in the day when you either had to go into GameStop or call GameStop and be like, hey, I'd like to pre-order this game. Remember that? And then they get you, then, all right, ready? My mom, I was like, can you pre-order this game for me, please? Because they won't let me get it because I'm not, we're in sixth
12,
grade.
yeah.
I was 12. I was like, please pre-order this game for me. I'm sick as a dog. She's like, all right. And I remember getting in the car like half dead, sick as fuck with the fever. And my mom comes in the car. She's like, she got the whole GameStop spiel. Like, she's like, I got you the guide and I got you or GameStop rewards and a year of Game Informer too. Like, and
Game Informer was where I heard about it. I remember, seeing that like the year prior. It was like the cover game, and still never got those fingerless gloves. Those gloves never came to the game. They were featured throughout that cover story, but never there. But yeah, GTA, just GTA in general. There will never come a time where I won't want to rampage in that game. But Jay, we have been going for this is our longest episode. Despite E3 and news and all that shit and everything, this has been our longest episode. I think we needed it. I think it was a good step away from E3 and getting back to business as usual.
Just waiting for that PlayStation event.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see that this upcoming month. But I'm Paul Sabo. This is Jay Hamilton, and this is Punk with a Controller. You can catch us live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go over to Jay's channel, twitch.tv/LordxHam. Show him some love. He's playing all the first-person shooters on PC.
Got some tactical shit.
He's popping domes and just surviving in RPGs. I'm
Dividing cheeks.
I'm playing a bunch of the big PlayStation games, all of those first-party launch titles. We're going through Ratchet and Clank right now. It's been a real fun time. These episodes get uploaded over to youtube.com/punkwithacontroller every Sunday. This episode might be a little late because one thing people tend to not really inform you too much on the internet is you need a lot of space for these videos. Just predicting it right now, this video, as I upload it, gonna be about 100 gigabytes. So I need to get extra storage before I upload that. So this one might not get uploaded until Monday or so. So keep an eye out on that. Follow us on all social media and know exactly when that goes live. In the meantime, you could go over there and check out all other 11 episodes. Leave a comment, subscribe, let us know what you think. If you got Amazon, you can link it with your Twitch account and make a Twitch gaming account. You could take money from Jeff Bezos, take money from the money he's stealing from children, and he's eating children, something QAnon says. You can trust them. They seem like a bunch of trustworthy dudes. I'm totally fucking joking. Jay,
Have you seen Jeff Bezos' super yacht?
I
Google it.
don't care. I don't.
It's got a yacht. It's got a yacht that carries the yacht. I shit you not. It's got a yacht launcher on the yacht. I'm not shitting you. They talk about it on the radio.
I gotta go.
All right. Later, y'all.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Deuces.